Captain's log, stardate 53685.2. Turns out that when I had arrived originally on the Tenjin, I was I was quite surprised. I found that the Victoria had made it back from wherever it had been, and that I was going to be commanding it while the Admiral took the Tenjin. However, some of the crew that he left me leaves a little bit to be desired as of yet. Their records are impressive, to be sure. And when they've gone through their counseling, maybe it'll help them a little bit. But right now I am currently getting ready to meet one of the Admiral's staff. While the Admiral himself is a pleasant man, his staff can be rather stuffy, so I don't look forward to this being a pleasant meeting. Computer and log.
And so our first scene begins. As an update, it has been 1 day since you guys have arrived in, since our last session. You guys yesterday had met with the Admiral for a short briefing and introduction to the new captain of the ship, Captain Nadal. Captain Nadal, you are currently waiting at transporter control, one of the transporter rooms, I should say, aboard the Victoria. And the person beaming onto the pad, and forgive me, I really should have gotten a transporter room graphic, but oh well.
Things for later.
It beams in a woman with a black undershirt and 3 pips showing herself commander.
Commander, welcome aboard the Victoria.
Captain, I am Commander Zua, the intelligent liaison that Admiral Trailblazer sent over.
I was expecting Johnson, but you're quite a surprise. I believe you had something for me. If you would, we can take it in my ready room.
Very well.
Off to the ready room.
And you two are walking along in the hallways. Do you just stay quiet on the way up there?
No, she goes, Nadal will go, so Commander, tell me about yourself, at least what you can. And she just kind of smiles a little bit at that.
Other than what I've already told you, there's not much to tell. Most of my, should I say, career in Starfleet has been blackbarred.
That seems to be the Admiral's fixation. Black bars in career records. No, Commander, I meant, like mountain climbing, drinks. I mean, I assume with these transfer papers, you're transferring aboard the ship for the time being. I'd like to get to know my newest crewmate member.
Well, I don't drink caffeine. I dabble in many different martial art forms.
I'm sure the previous... I can't remember her name. The previous commanding officer of this ship had probably brought some of her stuff from her ship when she was aboard. Maybe you can enjoy. Maybe you can partake in those. I have not had a chance myself to look at them, but... So, and
The two of you go into a turbo lift and start heading up to the bridge. It's one of the faster ones that get you closer to the ready room. And the bridge crew notices the pair step out of the turbo lift and move straight into the ready room. What is the bridge crew doing at this time?
Garrix is running diagnostics on the engines, making sure they're ready to go into cold running at a moment's notice.
I'm just maintaining the communications array and the power systems.
I'm going over her sensor logs, and I'm plotting any notable astromagnetic phenomenon.
Alan is just like sitting in his seat meditating.
It's probably more like over here because... Oh, there's a chair there. I lie. It's a little stool.
Yeah, he cares not for comfort.
Question.
Hmm?
Are we still docked at Narendra, though we're on the Victoria? Where are we at?
You're basically just nearby Narendra Station right now. You're not docked currently.
Oh, okay. Then Wash would be going through like different simulations, depending where we're at with the station, on getting ready to warp and those type of things, or impulsing to certain locations, then warp. Just that type of stuff. Always checking systems with this new control panel now installed. He's acting as if like the programs and all the stuff that was loaded onto it still need to be checked because it's new. So he's just going through all that.
I will give you a control plus con roll, difficulty 2, as you're making you're warming up the ship. You're warming yourself up to how the ship handles.
Sure. Oops, wrong. Say the two again. Which one? Con and
Control.
Control. Okay. And helm operations focus.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay.
I always make Garrix's too big.
And
It fits my personality.
let's gain some momentum for everybody by spending a threat.
Sure.
For bold for an extra die.
And you gain an extra die from the Tenjin nearby as it's kind of monitoring what you're doing, and when they see that you're doing exercises, like, oh, hey, well, their flight officer just starts giving you help.
Oh, cool. I will send the appreciation. Always good when we work together. So there's one, and then let's gain some momentum for the ship.
Gain
Okay,
one momentum.
One. And I got a 0, so I can re-roll 1.
Oh, bold, right? Yep.
Yeah, so there we go.
And the ship rolls. It'll be engines con. And it always has focus. Boop.
What?
Well, there you go.
Wow,
1, 2, 3, 4 momentum.
I like this comm panel. I kind of rub my hand over it and give it a pat. Like, yeah, I can work with this.
So the ship's moving around quite smoothly. The controls are the more modern based off the Intrepid's new setup, it kind of the console still looks like aesthetically it still fits the rest of the bridge, but the layout of where all the buttons are different. Some of the LCAR's graphics are a little different, but it helps you react a little quicker to everything. It'd probably be faster if the ship was equipped with biogel systems as opposed to isolinear, but that requires a full refit, and that's not happening until this mission's over. But hey, you're still getting a lot out of it, and your own style of flying kind of fits playing with a new style of craft.
Excellent. So
Do you in that comm panel, as the humans say, need a room?
I will look over at Selena and just whisper, maybe. But then I say, Commander Jolson, Commander Jolson, everything is working fine. Diagnostics and simulations look good.
Engines operating within spec.
Excellent. I guess now we're just waiting for everyone to unpack their bags.
Can I scan for a nearby small stellar object like a asteroid or something of that approximate nature? Maybe small comet?
There's some small space debris or something at extreme ranges. You can kind of detect it out there. A lot of anything that would be of any great size usually gets picked up by the station or by patrolling ships. But you can see stuff like there's stuff out in space.
Anything the size of a small craft, like a shuttle?
Give me a reason plus security. Difficulty 2.
That's 3 successes.
Okay. You generate. And you get the ship's. I want to say sensors plus something. Sensors plus
security, probably.
Security, yeah. I was overthinking it. Oh well. But yeah, you're able to find something out there to aim at. Something worth aiming at.
Commander Jolson, we have a small craft-sized asteroid bearing 324 Mark 5. Permission to have Lieutenant Wash engage in an attack pattern for drill purposes.
So you say, and that we have a rogue asteroid there that totally needs to be dealt with.
I was not taking your emotional state into it, so I can't really tell if we need to destroy it. But I do wish to test my ability to coordinate with Lieutenant Wash.
Very well. Lieutenant Wash? Attack pattern and Delta 3.
Doesn't matter. Type it into comm and ready to engage. Now, this is Jamie talking. In your command, were you already assuming my engagement, or am I to wait for you to say engage?
Engage.
Understood. Okay, so then Wash says, yes, sir. And forwards the ship. And Wash would have still let the other ship know that we're still doing different simulations, and just
Yeah,
in the sense
you
that
know.
they were having fun, with
Yeah.
us and helping us. So,
Yeah,
tele-
yeah. Still keep communications up. Let them know that hey, we're gonna engage this. Nothing weird going on. We meant to do that. We meant to trip and fall on our base.
right.
Tenjin acknowledges and warns you to watch out for those asteroids. They can be mighty crafty.
They seem to share your distrust of asteroids, Commander.
Well, let's show them what we got.
And I'll wait till I'm in prime position and fire.
Meanwhile, in the captain's ready room, two of you can hear some of the bridge activity, and you can muffle hear them talking out there, chatting amongst themselves.
Conducting drills, Captain?
I'd be lying if I said that I knew what was going on out there at the moment. I just got on the ship myself. I'm about to go find out what is going on. But you seem to have pressing matters, and from what I can hear, a stray asteroid isn't exactly going to hurt us.
I see. What I'm about to give you is classified, is not to be discussed outside the fleet. Section 31 has developed a cannon and is most likely operational. It is theorized that it would be aimed at the Romulans. If this cannon, well, Starbase to be more exact, if it's not destroyed soon, it will most likely disrupt the Rama Star Empire in a way Starfleet will not handle correctly in time. There is also intel reports of the Al Nomad fleet has been doing flight removers and exercise along within range of this cannon, as well as our journey to it. Most likely they're spread across to hit the Romulans.
Oh, that is unfortunate. And I was under the impression we were to go to Al Nomad territory, the flotilla, and negotiate the release of the Victoria crew.
That is your prerogative. However, there are more pressing concerns than just the crew of one ship. If this cannon is operational, it will affect millions of lives.
All right. Well, I think I have what we need to do in my head. Commander, I assume you will be joining us
Yes.
on our trek. All right. If you would, I am in need of an XO.
I thought you assigned Lieutenant Commander Jolson to that role.
The Admiral put forth his file, but when I was talking to him earlier, he seemed like he would rather just be a science officer. And by all accounts, you outrank him. Oh, 1 second. And I hit the button on my thing.
Hello, Captain. This is Yeoman Daniels. Did you want me to call for the morning meeting for the Alpha shift, or did you want to waive it for now?
Set it for an hour and a half from now.
Hour and a half, aye, sir.
Commander, I expect you to be in that meeting.
Of course. And if you don't mind, Captain, I would like to conduct a security review of all ship personnel to ensure that there are no Section 31 imposters aboard the crew.
Very well. You have my blessing. Uh, if you don't mind, I have to break the news to Jolson. If there is anything else, Commander?
No, sir.
Alright. Dismiss, Commander. And she hits her panel and says, Jolson, could you come into my ready room, please? Lieutenant Commander. Sorry. She doesn't say Jolson. She says Lieutenant Commander. Jolson, yeah.
Yes, Captain.
Jolson, I have been looking over your file, and it says here you're an astrophysicist and quantum physicist?
Yeah, I kind of like looking at both sides of the spectrum.
And I see you are also the XO of this ship for a short period of time before you got to Narendra.
That was mostly a matter of convenience.
Alright. I have some good news and some bad news for you, Lieutenant Commander. Good news is you get to go back to studying your pulsars and your quantum theory, which I may actually want to help you on or inquire with you about. Unfortunately, I believe Commander Zora will be taking your position as XO. She has a bit more command experience than you, and for what we are about to undertake, I need a more tested officer. I apologize, Lieutenant Commander.
Jolson adjusts his uniform a bit. Well, it's better to be a specialist than a generalist. Allows one to focus solely on their task and not everyone else's task.
Well, if it's any consolation, you do retain the title of Chief Science Officer.
Absolutely.
Very well. I will see you in the morning briefing in an hour and a half.
Let's get out there and do some damn science. It's as I say.
We will get to that. Lieutenant Commander, we will get to that. You are dismissed.
Aye, Captain.
And then she starts getting her paperwork ready for the morning briefing. Sorry. It just made more sense. Sorry.
at current, as Jolson steps out of the ready room, the ship has done a pass of the asteroid and has unloaded a few phaser shots into it and cracked it quite neatly in half.
Lieutenant Wash, I estimate your efficiency at over 80%.
Wait, that's it? Okay, let's do this
Well,
again.
you are organic.
He smiles. Probably
where
make
would
some comment of, I will always strive to be better pilot.
where is Zora standing about? I kind of put you in the center of the bridge, but not sure where you'd stand. Or sit, for that matter.
Huh? She has
Right
a
there
seat.
behind Tactical. She's standing there, next to Alan.
Attention to Victoria.
Put it on screen.
This is normally an ops thing.
Psst, Selena.
I
Selena.
look up from my pad. Oh, yes. Sorry. Victoria here.
On the screen, yeah, you see Admiral Trailblazer standing in the bridge of his ship. You see his room is a lot more crowded than your guys' bridges, even though it is slightly bigger. But it looks like there's a bunch of people milling around doing things in there. For what? Other than Zora or Nadal, this is the most most busy bridge you've seen before outside of combat.
But it's very bridgy. Very very much
Very
bridge.
bridgy. God.
Much
It's
bridge.
a very bridgy
Much wow.
bridge. Yes. It's a very bridgy bridge.
Under Captain Moon Moon.
Yes.
How's the Victoria holding out? Saw you were doing maneuvers just a minute ago.
I believe they were.
Never mind.
Go ahead.
I believe they were conducting tests on the weapons and helm operation systems.
Very well. We did notice a slight phase shift in your left nacelle. Were you aware of this?
Let me take a look at that.
I have not received a report yet, Admiral, and I'm sure they're on it.
If you give me 2 seconds, I will assist in sensors ops.
All right. And for the scanning of the ship, I will request a Insight plus Engineering, difficulty 3.
Okie doke. I'm going to spend one of those pretty momentum on that. Starship propulsion apply.
Yes.
Okay, well, let's buy off that complication as well then.
We got one momentum from that, so it should have only been one to buy away the complication.
And the assist roll?
Insight Engineering, same one. And the ship assists with this as well. With Sensors Engineering.
Crew, you are failing me. You're making me look bad.
Jolson, do you want to buy off that complication you just had, or do you have a way to
Yes,
reroll
please.
that? That's 2 momentum gone.
I already.
And here I was trying to do the exact opposite of that.
Very good. And I'm going to be typing stuff out as the computer processes what you've discovered. Because everyone made the rolls, just some people created complications that they thankfully are skilled enough to avoid.
New ship, who dis?
Oh, I forgot I bought cautious. Darn. Okay, I'll remember that for next time.
And if you haven't guessed, I am actually on computer now.
Hooray! One more person to make complication.
Hey.
I do really, really good, sir, to minimize complication.
It's not my fault that RNGesus hates me and they forget what talents I have.
Well, it is your fault you forgot what talents you have, but that's a different issue.
Oh, and I have my metal thing. Okay, never mind.
Sensors read out through the Discord medium.
Oh, it looks like there's a feedback pulse going through the array. It's going to cause a short in the left nacelle safety coupling. Can I spend our last momentum on obtain information to figure out the quickest way to...
You can. You can, yeah.
All right, let's find out how to repair that then.
I was going to say, or I could use my free question.
Can you do that if you're not the primary actor?
Sadly, no.
Okay.
Good thought, though. You determined that you could get away with just sending a team down with the right tools. You do know roughly what what parts they need to bring, and which basically brings down the difficulty of your task down, sending someone out to repair it.
Great.
You could you could fix it yourself, but it's simply faster to send a damage control team.
Because of Jolson's role as Chief Science Officer, he gets a free question. It's the same as Ops. The rules are.
Right, but that wasn't related to the engines.
Yeah, Jolson was scanning for something else.
I was talking about your obtain information spin you did.
Yeah, no, Jolson wasn't the one who rolled that. Garrix was.
Yeah, Jolson is rolling for the history of rock.
All right, I'll go ahead and hit my communicator, order the repair team to the relevant section.
Presence engineering, difficulty 1.
Ooh, I'm good at that. All right, well, there's momentum.
Estimated time looks to be about a 2-hour fix, and that's the fast way.
All right,
it's just raw labor and pulling the thing out.
All right, looks like with about 4 hours, we should have that locked down.
Did you just double your estimate to make you look good?
Probably. You don't know that.
Selena kind of inwardly smiles.
Lieutenant Commander Garrix, what is the status of the engines?
We should have a slight feedback. There's a slight feedback pulse through the array, causing a short in the left nacelle safety coupling. I have a team on their way. Should have it taken care of shortly. Commander, I'm sorry, we've not been introduced.
My name is Commander Zora. I am your new first officer.
Ah, a pleasure. But we should have that taken care. Engine should be taken care of in short order. Nothing's too serious.
Captain on the bridge.
As you were. She's just kind of watching.
When you're
Alan
finished,
did not snap to attention.
I'd like
Yes,
a
Commander.
full report at your convenience, Lieutenant Commander Garrix.
I'd be happy to, Commander. I'll get that to you as I'll get that to you as soon as I have that typed up. And so he pulls away whatever diagnostic video in the console, begins typing up a report about a feedback pulse.
Garrix, about that feedback pulse, I think our asteroid friend might have something to do with that.
Really? Please go on.
The asteroid has a particular mineral that reacts with high heat and can cause a mild feedback pulse. Oh, so our left nacelle might have just got caught in that wake. Mild, but definitely there.
Interesting. I can realign. If you can give me your analysis at some point, I can realign the sensors to look out for that substance in case we encounter it again.
Absolutely.
Sensors seem to detect that it's where the asteroid was cracked. There is sort of a small cloud of that debris, of that mineral, kind of floating there in space. Like the heat didn't melt it away like normal laser phaser shots would have done.
Wait, we're using lasers?
Captain, we should send a team to collect that. We can weaponize that.
I don't know about weaponize it, but it certainly is interesting.
I wouldn't mind a sample for scientific studies or weaponizing studies.
Could possibly even use to upgrade the heat blocks.
That's what I was thinking. I look over to my boss.
I mean,
Looks at Alan.
Harsh.
Yes, see if we can either beam aboard a sample or get a team to collect it while our nacelle is fixed.
I
I
would like
really-
to. I would like to scan the substance, see if it's safe to beam.
You certainly don't want to send a shuttle out there. Then we'd have to fix the shuttle too.
Only if we fired on it.
It's venting.
I'd much rather risk a shuttle than our ship.
That's why we beam it.
My first idea was beaming it.
Let's double check, see if it's safe to beam, and it's not gonna cause feedback in our transporter systems.
Jolson, I'll take that as a free question as science officer if you want.
Sure, I'll take that. Is this substance safe to transport?
Yes and no. If you try to beam large amounts of it, like say using the whole pad, like say using a whole cargo pad or a full 6-pod beam of the material, which you could easily do, there's a lot out there. It risks over the power of the transporters could cause a heating effect, and then it would just ignite. It would just feed back this transporter system. So either you can beam a lot of it at higher risk, or you can beam small amounts of it, but it just takes forever because you're beaming like very small amounts.
Well,
Small
we have
amounts,
2 hours. Yeah, we have 2 hours. Small amounts.
Yeah, let's
Yeah.
just take our time with it. Are we
Before-
talking grams at a time, kilograms?
Yeah, you're talking like maybe a kilogram, maybe 5 kilograms at a time.
That's not too bad.
As compared to how much could we get if we did a mass beam?
As captain, I'm nixing that. I don't need
well,
the risk
you
of
can't-
it exploding.
You can't nix me asking the GM.
That's
Alan,
fair.
a quick computation tells you that it would be about 50 kilograms, maybe 100. If you use a cargo one, you could basically beam the whole lot, but that's
So I estimate that doing this could take us a week if we did constant beaming to get the same amount.
Well, I don't think we need that much, but it's up to you.
Well,
You,
I'm still
Captain,
in
how
the
much?
I'm still in the calculation phase. I have not asked or said anything about my calculations.
Okay. Well, we just know how the captain feels about it. That's all. Don't want to risk the ship.
But that's correct, Jim. I'm thinking it would take about 100 hours to get the same amount between the two beaming possibility.
Yeah, it's a huge difference.
Really, just want enough to, study. I don't want a whole cargo bay full of it.
Ooh.
Jolson, I've made a few calculations. I'd like you to double check. If we follow the proposal to beam a kilogram at a time, it would take us almost a week's time at constant rate to get the same amount as a full major beam. And I think the amount we would get would be useful to study and absolutely nothing else. So it would seem kind of negligible importance to attempt to beam any of it if we don't attempt to beam it in large quantities.
I disagree, unless we want to try manufacturing it or using it in any engineering processes, as we only need a small sample.
I wouldn't want to waste the ship's energy on replicating something we can easily obtain.
At the same time, we can study it here, and if it is viable, we can have... Narendra is short distance away. They can send mining ships out here.
We wouldn't be able to use it then. And I doubt the Admiral is going to allow you to sit around for a week beaming.
So we're not going to sit around for a week beaming.
We just will not be taking as much as you think is necessary. Unless you can come up with a way where we do not risk the ship to beam a large quantity of it, I can't condone that plan.
I can come up with a plan easily. I have a plan already.
Then let's hear it, Mr. Allen.
We're just going to need to adjust transporter settings. And we're going to need to make appropriate settings on the safeties and follow general protocol, and we should be fine.
Protocol is we don't beam a large amount of a deadly substance aboard the ship.
And that policy was written in the last 10 minutes since we discovered this substance. I was unaware. My fault.
I actually think there is something like that. I may not know as a player, but she would actually know.
He's not referring to a general don't beam things aboard the ship. He's talking about a policy regarding this material.
Oh.
Commander Garrix.
Yes,
Could you come over and join us for a second?
I'd be happy to.
So, this is in its raw form what we were thinking of using to make our heat sinks out of.
Mm-hmm. Looks like a similar... Looks... Okay, right. But we ended up using materials from that Elnamid ship. Are you saying this is the same material?
In its raw form, it would have to be refined, I think.
Interesting. Huh. How fascinating that Admiral Trailblazer spent so much time trying to perfect this the heat sink system when the answer was orbiting Narendra.
Well, the answer is trying to kill us.
Aluminium.
Care to share with the class?
While we were out of contact with Starfleet, we used a scavenged Elnomed shuttle to harvest metal to refine the heat sinks into a stable form. It seems to be this material is the raw form of that same material. So if we were able to figure out the refining process with an ample sample, we could manufacture heat sinks indefinitely. That would last much longer than the last series.
When I looked into this, we could not manufacture the material because I already had scanned the material when I used it for the heat sinks in great detail, and those scans revealed that we could not manufacture it. It was too complex.
Well, if we can reverse engineer the refinement process with the raw substance.
What refinement process?
Well, we'd have to compare. We'd have to compare it in its raw form into what we've actually managed to salvage. But with enough time, we might be able to figure out a refinement process. It would be a long-term project, if anything.
That would allow us to take what's in the asteroid and make it to the ship, but we'd still have to get what's on the asteroid onto the ship.
What if we use a ram scoop?
GM, can I try to figure out? Can I figure out if there's any kind of like containment facility we can use to safely get it in a larger quantity?
Say again, sorry.
Is it Can I try to figure out if there's like any kind of confinement facility I can quickly whip up, like with energy fields or something?
Oh, give me a moment. Let me think. Thinking about the Victoria's layout.
I have a question. I'm going to say it in character.
I'd go ahead and ask it. I have to think a bit.
All right. Captain, what if we used a series of explosives and broke this apart and tractored in all of the various components?
If it reacted this badly to phasers, I would highly suggest against using photon torpedoes.
You could spread it across half the system, making it extremely difficult to enter or leave Narendra.
I was not suggesting photon torpedoes.
Spatial charges?
From the information we have, a sufficient heat source, regardless of type of explosion or what will cause the feedback.
Right, that's why we break it apart at a safe distance.
It could still spread the chemical across half of this local system. It would make warp really difficult. GM, I'd also like to ask if I think I could take some of the materials from the El Nomad ship that are left over and create small heat sinks for the transporters so that their heat is not dispersed openly. It is captured.
I can tell you that the difficulty would be daring plus engineering. Difficulty, I'm going to say... Are you doing it for just just one transporter pad, or for like a cargo transporter pad? Like, how big a heatsink are you trying to build?
For a cargo transporter.
Difficulty 4. Complication 2, even just because you're dealing with you're jury rigging the material. But hey.
Okay, I'm going to spend a determination on I pre-calculate all possibilities.
Quick update on Gearix. I believe you just generated some momentum there. Original difficulty was 3. You got 2 because of your value. 2 more because of what you rolled. So that is 1 more momentum. I'll resolve Gearix, then Ellen, then you, Selena, just so everyone knows where I'm going. So yes, 1 momentum's been gained. Gearix, you do know of one of the compartments, one of the cargo bays that could be you. It's not strictly a research cargo bay, but the Victoria, you remember back in the records that there was a room that was kind of made for that. You just have to move the stuff that's in there right now. But you could. That's where you could store very xeno hazmat material. You recall the designation.
I believe Cargo Bay 5 would be suitable for what's been referred to as Xeno hazmat material. That would be a suitable housing place if we did want a large quantity. We'd have to spend some time clearing.
Alan, you were asking again, sorry.
Oh, if I could build heat sinks for the cargo transporters out of the Alnomad material.
Yep, and the difficulty I listed of.
Yeah.
Yep. Do you want to roll that, or are you gonna try to?
No, I was going to use my determination on I pre-calculate all possibilities. I'm trying to eliminate things before they pop up.
Yep, that works for me.
And
whoops, I'm being messaged.
I'm gonna spend 5 threat.
Five threat.
So that should be it.
One and two plus two more on the dot.
Oh, I did not set the complication, so let's double check that. I did get a complication. No, because a difficulty of 2 would be 20 and 19.
Right.
And I only got an 18, so I did not get a complication.
You don't have any rerolls?
No, I only have rerolls for security. That was an engineering roll.
So you do have a complication in there?
No. He was asking if I could reroll things, and the answer is no.
Oh, okay. You do know, Alan, have to do some calculations. You're gonna have to eat up some of the material you have left over, but it's doable. You don't know. Well, put it this way. You can make it so that it is because you made the roll, you're able to do this at least once. But you now have a sort of pseudo what in the books is called I forget what it's called, but there's a thing where you have experimental device. You kind of have an experimental transporter pad idea, but you don't have the talent to keep it, to be able to instruct someone else into how to maintain it without you standing over their shoulder. So if you ever want to use it again, it requires you to be told we need to use it again, and then 2 momentum spend to activate it again. If you want to transport any other weird material that might react weird with the transporters, the transporter design you've just conjured in your positronic brain has kind of come together as a idea that you understand, but it's hard for people without a computer for a brain to understand.
Do I think that this design could help us when trying to beam people or other things that the transport is normally not capable of beaming up?
Theoretically, because you can just pump more power into the system and the buffer won't melt because the heatsink will suck it away. I mean, the heatsinks will wear, but that's the same problem the engine core has. Well, problem, quote unquote.
Lieutenant Garrix, I have a solution for a transporter that will not react negatively with the material. We can use the heatsink materials to make the transporter not let off incredible amounts of heat. It should generally improve the performance of the transporters, if I'm thinking correctly, but it'll definitely help us in this situation.
And so your idea, daring plus security, difficulty 3. Actually, I will take daring plus security difficulty 3 or daring con difficulty 3, but it's at a higher complication.
I'll stick with the first one there.
Okay.
Did you say con?
This is Selena figuring out in her head, going, "Hold on, I have an idea. Does this work?"
Actually, this is Selena trying to figure out if any of my talents come into play here.
That too.
It doesn't. But one of my values does. So I'm going to burn my determination early, which is rare. And I am going to use always keep your ears open for profit.
I can take that. Yep.
And I would imagine that demolitions and explosives
Oh
as a
yeah.
focus
Oh yeah.
applies. All right. So, and I'm going to give you 1 point of threat
Awesome.
to go to 3, and the difficulty is 3, and the complication is 1.
Yep.
All right.
Would Wash be able to? No, like you said, it's in your mind. Never mind.
Good try though.
Yeah,
One momentum gain.
I have an idea, but yeah, you're right. I'd have to know.
Yeah. And actually, that's 1 plus 2 more because you did determination spend.
Yes. So that would be 3 gained out of that, right? Plus.
Oh, I gain a threat and you gain a momentum.
It would have only been
Those
2.
thread chunkies. That's 6 on the check and 1 on the challenge dice.
The plan to crack the outer shell and use a worker bee to go in, it's doable. There's a bit of a delay between the explosion and then waiting for everything to settle down, and then the worker bee just comes in. And as long as the worker bee doesn't use a ton of power on the tractor, it could just haul in some of it.
All right. I'm going to coordinate with Lieutenant Johnson on my math and then say, Captain, I think we can crack this with small conventional explosives and then have a worker bee tractor the various large pieces in. Overall, I would say that it would take, are we talking 6 hours, GM, to do the whole thing?
One moment. An hour.
About an hour.
I'm gonna double check that math. So I assist with daring security.
Yes, you do.
Oh, this is gonna go well. Focus in astrophysics.
Actually, yes. Hey.
Hey.
Do you generate another momentum as, yeah, the math looks right. And you double check to see if there's any way to shave off time, and anything that involves doing that risks a feedback that will risk the worker bee, so there's no way around it that way.
I think Selena is correct, Captain.
What do you think, Commander?
How badly do we want this aluminium?
Well, considering how we get, we'll be able to replace the heat sinks once they go down, I'd say it's rather valuable.
I appreciate your opinions, gentlemen. Commander Zora, opinions?
If they could have refined the process to create the metal, I believe from the intelligence report, Mr. Allen here reverse engineered a Alnomad ship for the current heat blocks. If those were to burn out, we would be back to square one.
That's
Be able to produce our own would probably be an advantage for us.
Alright. Then, Lieutenant Wash,
Yes, Captain.
you and Selena will be on the worker bee.
Aye,
Selena, I believe you have a history with explosives.
I did work in the
Lieutenant-
torpedo bay.
Alright. Lieutenant Jolson, if you could keep an eye on sensors, and Garrix, if you could fix that nacelle, please, sir.
I'd be happy to. I'll go ahead and assist the repair team if there's nothing further for me here.
I just
Not-
love scanning for asteroids.
Not that I can. Not that I can tell, Mr. Garrix. Dismissed.
Thank you, Captain.
Well, Wash goes to the turbo lift, but before walking in, close the door. I look at the captain just to make sure we're dismissed and that I've heard everything that we need. And
You're free to leave, Mr. Washburn.
and then we walk in.
Just as a point of navigation, are you heading for engineering?
Yeah, to make sure that we get anything that we might need or whatever before we go to the worker bee.
Oh,
Right.
okay. No, that was intentional. Never mind.
Yeah, I think Garrix is heading for engineering.
Or wherever you have to go to repair that nacelle.
And then Jamie says, because the turbo lift is right there.
True enough.
It's right. It's there. Why not use it? Yeah.
And
actually,
Captain Mira, or Captain Nadal hits her comm badge and says to her yeoman, just, the briefing is postponed for the time being.
Hi, Captain. Let me know when you want me to set up any refreshments in the pads.
I will, yeoman, thank you. My yeoman works hard. I need to show them appreciation.
Attention to Victoria.
This is the Victoria.
This is Admiral Trailblazer. I haven't heard a report back regarding your situation. Are you all right over there?
Actually a bit of happy news, Admiral. According to Lieutenant Commander Jolson, we may have found an asteroid full of the substance used to modify the warp core of the Victoria. We are currently in salvaging, in a salvaging mode.
How long do you expect that to take, Captain?
About an hour. We need 2 hours to fix the problem with the nacelle. Sorry. And I figure, why not two birds with one stone, so to speak. We're already going to be here, working on the engines, and we will
Do you
be right
need
as
any
rain, Admiral.
assistance, or are you all right in that regard? Can you handle it?
I hit my comm badge. Lieutenant Garrix, do you think you can handle the situation in engineering, or would a few more engineers help speed up the process?
Repair teams are already underway. I don't foresee this being too difficult. I'll be down here to assist. Should we need any further assistance, I will let you know.
Very well. Admiral, as a matter of fact, there is something you can do.
Oh?
I will let the worker bee know, but if the Temjin could house some of this material just in case. I can have Mr. Allen send over the refining methods when he deduces them.
Stand by. His side goes mute for a second, and you see him turn his head and he's talking to someone behind him.
Such a brave move to risk a very important ship.
Well, our ship's kind of important too. We're on it.
It's more, their ship is more heavily equipped to protect it than our ship is.
Brave move to risk our ship.
Well, this job is risk. We wouldn't
Comes
put on
off the
uniform if we
mute.
weren't expecting it.
Victoria, well, we can But we're going to observe your method first to see how it goes before we mobilize our method. Some of my staff here have another idea, but I want to see if yours works the way it's supposed to. And if it does, then we'll just do it your way rather than going about it the long way.
Very well, Admiral. Stand by and I will get you a further report.
Very well. Tension out.
Victoria out. Lieutenant Selena, Lieutenant Washburn, you are cleared for launch.
Yes, Captain.
And we will shift scenes.
So, how long will it take me to write my thesis paper?
Do you want to get an award for it or just published?
I mean, if I can get an award, let's do it.
Well, you need at least a month. I mean, you have to see who to copy, who not to copy, all that stuff. If you just want to get published, you could probably bang one out in an hour.
All right, we'll take time on this.
Noted.
As
But
you
yes,
should.
a lot of you are able to, between your minds and also backup methods you have and the skills you have, you are able to easily collect all the material without any further tests. You have enough momentum, as it were, to come at it and get it in safely. It's just a time sink. It just takes time to do it.
Yep.
Oh, thank you, Wash. You beat me to it.
And you forgot a commander.
Yeah, I was thinking I was still on the ship, so. Well, I'd be up here.
All right. So, for most of you, this may be news, and probably for none of you, actually. Our original plan was to go and speak with the Alnomet. However, due to circumstances, and she kind of looks at Commander Zora, that will not be the case. However, or not even however, we will be going after the rogue starbase, and I am up to any suggestions as how we will take this station down. Because apparently I can't talk tonight.
GM, real quick, is this the same station that has the Allen producing ability?
Correct.
We have a strike team on the inside that can easily destroy such a facility. We just need to get to them.
That's all well and good, Mr. Allen, if we live long enough to make it to the station.
Captain.
You have to live long enough to get to the station to do anything to it. You don't exactly have subspace weapons.
Those are
Well,
banned by the Kinema Accords.
Apparently
Yes.
not for everyone.
Yes, Lieutenant Selena.
One, we have a contractual obligation to argue before the Armada, and two, having allies to attack the station is not a bad idea. As in, this is a threat to the Alnobad as much as it is to any of our major powers.
Commander, what you told me in my ready room was strictly limited to the fleet. Am I not mistaken? If I'm not
Do you
correct.
understand that we are to take out this station as soon as possible? How we go about it is our discretion.
I am well aware, but apparently Lieutenant Selena does not understand orders over a civilian word.
I do understand orders, Cap. You were asking for options. I was just merely presenting you with the other possible option. And not to mention the fact that we have an Al Nomad diplomat on board. Are we going to risk him? We were contracted to take him back to his people as well.
It might be hard to achieve that if there's a very large subspace cannon shooting ships in the region.
Well,
Not including the Al Nomad fleet that is currently performing maneuvers within range of the starbase.
while the threat that the station possesses has not been lost on me, I feel like I would be remiss if I didn't just bring up the fact that are we intending to engage in military actions against Federation citizens?
Can you prove they're Federation citizens?
Even if they are, would they not be considered criminal?
Or
Yes, but
terrorists?
we don't summarily execute criminals. We arrest them and put them under due process. It sounds like you're intending on utterly annihilating them.
Have you ever tried to arrest someone who's shooting at you? Sometimes you have to shoot back and that results in their death. They have chosen this path.
I just wouldn't feel comfortable if I hadn't brought it up.
Well, I disagree with Alan's euphemism. He is not entirely wrong. This is self-defense action.
And your objection is duly noted, Lieutenant Commander.
Thank you, that's all I ask.
However, I cannot allow this station to continue operating. I don't want a firefight, but these people, for all intents and purposes, seem hell-bent on starting a war. So, stopping them may mean annihilating them, which is unfortunate. Truly.
Again, I suggest that we already have people on the inside that can destroy it. We just have to get to them.
Well, Mr. Allen, the device that was used to implant subconscious commands in you, could we possibly use it against the Allen units aboard the station? Were we able to recreate it?
There are a whole host of devices we can use and create. First, we have to get permission, and he nods towards the captain, to actually attempt to use them.
Are you saying there's an entire warehouse full of Mr. Allens?
No. I'm saying there could be between 1 and as many possible Allens as you can fit on the station, on that station. We don't actually know that there's a lot of them. We just know that there might be some there.
Regardless that those Allens, as you put it, are under the control of Section 31.
And that control can be interrupted. That's the plan.
To bring up to speed, there was a device on Mr. Allen that seemed to respond to light speed at most communications that would override his initial programming. If I believe Mr. Allen and I could work together to possibly create our own version of that, so we could subvert any Allens that are aboard the station.
Even if we can't subvert the Allens that are on the station by enslaving them to our will.
Who said you would enslave them?
You are asking them to commit acts against their programming already.
I have the same programming they have. I did not choose to side with the people who had captured me.
No, we kind of had to beat it out of you.
Yes.
In Mr. Allen's defense,
You did. You did no such thing. You did not change my opinions with your assaults. The only thing that changed my opinion was the device that Garrix gave me that allowed me to form my own opinions.
Yes, which these creatures may or may not have. The point being, what stops Section 34 from just reprogramming them after we program them?
Because after we reprogram them, only they will have the ability to program themselves.
Mr. Allen is the proof of concept. He is
Yeah, because we're not talking about reprogramming them. We're talking like with the situation with Alan, where we took out or helped him with the ability to block that signal that then where he had to follow those weird commands. By blocking that, Alan's able now to make decisions. And so this is the idea, is we're trying to get them to be able to make their own decisions also.
My misunderstanding. My understanding was we were trying to recreate the device that was being used to program Mr. first
only in
as a
order
weapon.
and only in order to shut their signal out.
Interesting.
A jamming signal, so to speak.
Now, I'm with Alan in such that okay, say we're able to subdue these Allens and then give them the ability, block that signal, and they can now think to themselves, pick up a weapon and start firing at us. And yes, I'm with Alan. Then yeah, you got to pick up the weapon and defend yourself, then ask questions.
Either way, we have to get within a light year. We have to get within light seconds at most for it to be effective. It works over something similar to a laser or radio technology.
I can take a small craft and infiltrate. We could take a small security team that could do an infiltration. That way we don't have to risk the Victoria.
Well, the problem with that is they wouldn't be able to benefit from Victoria's cold running.
I would caution against that, Captain. Allowing Mr. Allen to leave the vessel puts not only the Victoria in danger, but also the mission as well. He knows too much.
That is actually very true. Unfortunately, Mr. Allen, the commander is right. If Lieutenant Commander Garrix was able to rewrite your programming, even if you didn't want it to happen, enough intelligence programmers, and you may not have a choice.
You have a very naive understanding of computational mechanics. I wonder where you get such an idea.
That being said, I am the captain of this ship.
And making decisions on poor information instead of relying on the people who do know the information. Oh, wait, hold on. I got GM messages I gotta attend to. Oh, yeah, I'll do that. I'm gonna steal 2 cards.
2 momentum spend as Alan sees a very clear image. And I'm going to send you a message as suddenly a lot of other futures start dropping away. The longer, not longer, but the way the conversation is going, certain futures are becoming a lot more easier to read. So you're getting an insight.
Captain.
I can see clearly now the drugs are kicking in.
Captain. This reminds me too much of something I learned at the academy. An incident on Earth called Florida.
Yeah.
I would stress again, the more allies that we have, the more success this mission is going to take.
I've seen many paths, and I see all of the paths that do not involve me infiltrating the station and another team infiltrating the station. The Allens will kill them because they owe no allegiance to you. They would listen to me, but they owe you nothing. To you, you are no different than Section 31. But I can convince them otherwise. You cannot.
Let me ask you this question, Mr. Allen. Can you guarantee that if they were no longer to take orders from Section 31, that they will help you? For all we know, they could be loyal to Section 31, despite their programming.
The troubles that we have communicating between myself and y'all is because y'all are organic. These Allens share my design perfectly. What I think is correct is what they will think is correct by necessity.
Are you sure you're not selling your own self short, Alan? Your own self-determination?
If two circuits are given the same inputs, they produce the same output. Where I'm not an indeterministic machine. I don't do random things. And if I don't do random things, then neither can they.
Well, I believe I will leave the choice of... I agree we need to infiltrate the station. I need ideas on how to get close to the station. And Commander, I will leave it up to you to pick the away team to infiltrate the station.
Well, we do have silent running available to us. It can get us within a reasonable distance.
We could almost dock with them.
Theoretically.
We don't open a window.
We also have the possibility to go before the station existed. Or yesterday.
Let's try not to violate the Prime Directive and Temporal Accords.
How about we not do that? That's just a lot of paperwork.
Yeah, the first rule of time travel is don't do it.
It worked last time.
While I find the prospect interesting, I have to agree with the rest of your staff.
That's right. Captain, Commander.
Oops.
And Selena poofs out of existence.
So the DM just spent 20 threat, and we are suddenly out of phase with each other.
Sorry about that. May I have a word with you after this meeting in private?
Yes, Lieutenant. Absolutely. Anyway, our goal for this is to get it within range of the station and infiltrate it, hopefully to rescue the Allens that are there, but optimally to destroy it. And then if all things go to plan, we will get our Alnomed guest home.
Well, sounds reasonable.
Other than the subspace weapon, what do we know about the station's defensive capabilities?
As a quick As a quick aside, those of you who, as players, participated in the JAG simulation, you know what the station's like, and your characters would have learned of it through the investigation that the Admiral went through, because he almost got charged.
Ah. Oh wait,
what
there's
kind
a
of-
there's a shit ton of Klingons on the station.
No, those were Al Nomad ships, but they weren't telling the testees that, because that's classified.
Oh, then from what I understand, the ship has many small war vessels, and including several large cruisers, and is filled with many armed personnel and security checkpoints. Although the computers do seem vulnerable to hacking.
Then probably our best bet would be to see if the Tenjin can make some noise to try to lure some of the fleet away while we approach under silence.
the old bait and switch?
So long as the Tenjin can avoid the enemy fleet.
A Prometheus is very valuable bait.
Meaning it's also a very valuable loss.
That's my drift.
I would rather not put the Admiral at risk, Captain. It's too dangerous. There is a method that the Admiral used to sneak up upon the station. I believe this might work in this case with the upgrades that the Victoria has, and through some of the investigation work that's been done. Theoretically, the Victoria could sneak right up to the station and be in a blind spot that it currently possesses. Small team in EVA or a shuttle could then be used to gain access to the station at that point.
Makes sense.
Alright. Alright. We have a few ideas. Although I do... Alright. So... Sorry, my nose is all stuffed up now. Oh, great.
Too many pheromones?
Yep, I'm allergic to myself. I hit the button. Yes.
Hell, Yeoman Daniels here. The Supreme Counselor wants to speak with you at your earliest convenience. He seems upset.
Tell him I will be right there.
Okay, Captain, I'll let him know.
And I roll my eyes.
Alright. If there is anything else, please write it up and leave it for me in my ready room. Commander, if you would get together your infiltration team. And Lieutenant Garrix, just make sure we're ready to go into cold running when we need to. Also, work on your idea about the Allens.
Absolutely. Mr. Allen, could I get your assistance working on that scrambler?
Yes. And I assume we should also start getting underway.
Yeah, I was going to send Wash to start. Yeah.
Yes, Captain.
I would suggest assigning a distance from the ship where we engage in cold running. I suggest a few light years, about 12 hours out, maybe.
Sounds reasonable. If there's nothing else, this meeting is dismissed. Commander, until I get back, you have the bridge, and I go and Talk to
Captain?
Oscar McOscarskin. Oh,
Captain?
right, Lieutenant.
Can I speak with you and the commander before? This could be very helpful to.
You have 3 minutes in my ready room, and
Seems like a.
Commander.
I believe. Okay. Well, since you guys are doing that, forget you then. To the ready room. Sorry, go ahead, real quick.
I'll be walking, I guess, with Garrix to one of the holodecks, because that'll be the easiest place to test out our ideas.
Yes.
Got it.
Scrambler.
I'll be on the bridge and I'll be monitoring the extraction process.
Oh, that was done.
Yeah.
I think
Oh,
we're
that's
all
done?
ready to go. Yeah.
Okay,
Keeping the bridge warm.
pretty much.
Cap-
Oh, is Zora in the ready room during this meeting?
Well, she said the captain and commander, so.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, never mind. Sorry.
Captain, putting my suggestion of reaching out to the Al Nomad fleet aside, this is a personal matter. Al Nomad law states that once you have engaged in a decision with the Al Nomads, you are to carry that out on pain of your life. A death warrant could be issued for you if you do not, and anyone who would be housing you would also be at risk. By not continuing with our diplomacy with the Al Nomad, we risk a death warrant, if not all-out war. I have a solution for this, though. If we cannot reach the Al Nomad fleet directly, it is going to take Mr. Allen some time to infiltrate the station. Sending a shuttle delegation is very risky to the delegation, but not to the ship. And it might suffice to still bring the Al Nomad into this conflict.
As much as I understand the plight, from what information we have, the Al Nomad are already in this fight.
Exactly.
However,
But currently they're unwilling to...
if you believe you can speak with them, and she kind of looks at the commander, do you think we can spare a shuttle and a couple of security officers to go with her? She was the one that made the negotiation plea, and according to Al Nomad law.
Hypothetically, Selena, could you modify a shell to produce the same effect that the Victoria has by doing a cold running?
Hypothetically, with enough time and enough borrowed equipment, yes, but it would put... technology is so experimental, it would put the ship at risk to be removing our systems for a small shuttlecraft.
Well,
And if
we
I
did
fail in my
just...
mission, I don't have to worry about the shuttle being destroyed.
What about the material we just got? Couldn't you... that would probably take too much time.
Again, with enough time and enough materials, we could. And I would require Lieutenant Jolson's help to refine the material, I believe. But again, time is of the essence. I do not suggest keeping the Supreme Chancellor waiting. He is not a very patient man.
I understand. Write down
I
any
would-
proposed materials you may need and time frame, and we'll see what we can do about getting you the
Understood.
materials.
I would
If
be happy
not,
to.
if
Understood,
not,
Cap.
yes. Sorry.
Understood, Captain. I will have that report to you within 2 hours. If you would like, I could stay here as the ship's expert on Al-Nomad law and assist you with your negotiations with the Supreme Chancellor.
No, I believe in getting a feel for a man one-on-one.
Very good.
And she kind of smirks. You're dismissed, Lieutenant.
Yes, Captain. And I smile as I exit.
Ah. What do you think, Commander? Before you leave?
Could be a worthy endeavor to get the assistance of the Nomad. However, while this is not exactly actually morally correct, there is an explosive device on the Allen units. Theoretically, if we had to, we could come up with a contingency plan to eliminate the Allens.
Very well. That will be a last resort, but draw up the plans for it anyway. I understand the moral dubiousness of it, but we can't let Section 31 have them.
That or could be used away to remotely deactivate them as well. In terms of the bombs.
Well, I would prefer to deactivate them. However, I would like to give Mr. Gearix's plan a try before we deactivated them.
I will have him work with me on that.
Thank you, Commander.
And
You're
good luck,
dismissed.
Captain.
Thank you. Yeoman, if you could have the Supreme Chancellor come to my ready room.
Aye, Captain. I'll have him sent up right now.
Thank you.
Okay, whoops, hold on. I just got tagged. Gearix.
Yes.
Would you give me a daring plus science roll, please?
Oh, why would you do that to me? Let me go ahead and do that. I'll go ahead and spend a momentum on that. And I don't know what this is about, so I'm not going to ask about focuses. Well, hey.
Alan, if you would.
Gonna one second.
Sure.
Am I allowed to ask you what focuses would apply?
Just shoot it to me in Discord. Actually, I can look at your character. What am I doing? I'm the GM. Duh. You have a focus.
Okay. Seems like a good opportunity. Let me go ahead and buy 5 dice. I'm not
with
gonna.
threat?
Yeah, there's no reason in spending that momentum. Someone else can have fun.
Very good. Whoops, I got tagged again. All right, we'll get back to you two in a moment. I just wanted to resolve that real quick. Oh, Captain's BRB.
Oh, you got 5 threat before you move on.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for the reminder. I almost forgot.
And I just want to say, was any momentum generated?
No momentum generated, given the nature of this roll.
Oh, darn.
Let's see. We had those two working on something. Captain's going to be meeting with someone. They're not back yet. There was Selena was working on drawing up information for a diplomatic mission. Selena, what in particular were you? What were you hoping to draw up in particular? Just documents.
I was actually in the middle of texting you that.
Okay.
I would think all I would need is a shuttlecraft and 2 security officers. Maybe the doctor, because she has a rapport with the ambassador. I keep calling him ambassador, Supreme Chancellor.
Yeah.
Probably should get that right.
Supreme Counselor. He's not the Chancellor.
Start mixing Star Wars and Star Trek.
Hey, yeah, that's fine. I just gained 5 threat when you do that.
That's all. Yeah, I know, right? Thankfully, Mr. Allen just gave it to you. That's all I would think I would need. Possibly a personal weapon. I haven't quite gotten to asking you what the diplomacy would probably look like under Al Nomad law, which I guess, if you feel comfortable texting me that.
I can tell you that in general, it's think Klingons, but more bureaucratic. Like they will kill you and smile while they do it, but they need a law for you to break first.
Okay. So I'm correct in still calling them space Nazis.
So lawful evil instead of lawful neutral.
I mean, the Nazis really didn't need a law.
It's true.
The captain might want to see if there's a law in there about pheromones. I'm kidding.
That's something you can ask Selena.
But as for personal arms, you are in fact expected to be during a diplomatic negotiation. You're expected to have nothing larger than something you can hold in one hand. So you can't hold a rifle or 2-handed sword or anything like that. But you can have like a hand phaser or a blade or both. Mm-hmm. But it can't be anything that requires a large weapon is banned from Supreme Counselor presence.
All right, good to know.
As for getting the doctor along, you need to give me a presence con difficulty 1, just to kind of talk her into not wanting into leaving the ship while it's going to be going into combat. Because she outranks you and she doesn't have to go if she doesn't want to, but you can try to talk her into going. Oh, I'm being messaged. Oh, gods, no. Heresy detected. Well, that gets me 10 threat. As the Space Marines come marching in. The black ships. Anyway. Oh, I'm being messaged for someone else. Oh no, too many people messaging me. How dare you?
The life of a GM.
Yeah.
That's what you get for making me roll daring.
So what's that? That's 10, that's 15, plus another 5 from earlier. So I got like 20 threat coming. Hey, these things are expensive to put into play. Just so you know. That's why I need it.
I mean, really, like a Borg cube is only like 6 thread.
I got enough for a cube, do I? Yeah.
Got enough for 2.
I mean, I could send 2 at you right now, but then again, that would complicate matters.
Technically, he has enough for 4.
I mean, it doesn't matter. I don't think the best equipped ship can defeat a Borg cube in a fair fight. Like
Yeah,
in this
personally,
system.
I think they should be more expensive, personally, but again, that's just opinion.
Yeah. They are impossible to defeat. At least in space combat.
Ooh, sphere. I channel. All right. So I'll actually get to you, Nadal, since there's more typing, but it's going to take time. The person.
Nadal is armed. She has a type 2. Just thought I'd point that out. Al Nomad.
When he steps in, he's not in Star Regalia. He is in a very in a gold, very militant-looking uniform. Think almost like 19th century, like one of those parade uniforms with the tassels, the big buttons, a blade at one hip, some sort of energy weapon on the other. Actually, it's a phaser because he can't get his weapons here because you guys don't make disruptors.
Yeah.
Much to his opinion.
Yeah, he's empathic. He gets a mild amusement out of the captain.
He's empathic with an asterisk.
Yeah. Oh, when somebody's hostile, that's when he starts getting. Okay. No, I'm kidding.
Captain.
Supreme Chancellor, what can I do for you?
I want to know the status of my transportation to the Armada.
Oh. Well, you will be happy to know that we are currently working on that. However, the Victoria as a whole has another stop to make. You will be escorted by Lieutenant Selena to your flotilla, Armada.
It is Armada, Captain. Flotillas are for lesser fleets.
I suppose.
Very well. How long do you expect it for one of your shuttles to get there?
From where we need to go? Did Selena did we have a time frame or like a distance between the two? I'm just trying to think.
Let me get you a calculation of that. You're talking about from the station from where you are to the Armada, or from the starbase that you're attacking to the Armada?
Well, my idea was where we stop and go into cold running is where we drop off the shuttle. And that'll be 12 hours out, according to Alan, from the S-31 station.
Well, 12 hours is the maximum amount of time we can spend at warp at maximum warp.
Oh.
So that's if we're coming in real hot, that's the hottest we could come in from the longest distance we could come in from.
Okay, so I'd probably, 'cause I don't think I want to go in at warp like that. However, if somebody can talk me into it, 4 light years from the station, or 4 hours from the station. Sorry.
I'll actually give you the answer.
I would let them out. Yeah.
Oh, you're saying if you were letting them out there, and hold on, I have a mini map that will give me an idea of how far that would actually be, and I have my chart in front of me, so this won't take very long. That's there, and you're there. Not that far. I'll say it's faster than that. And with the shuttle, shuttles go about this fast. Actually, it depends what shuttle you're sending, come to think of it. Because they all have different layouts. The fastest would be the Type 10 Cascal.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't send her without something with weapons. So.
The Cascal has weapons. The Mill.
Yeah, I'll probably
has
send
weapons.
The Gaskell.
Yeah. And Disraeli, I think it's the only one that doesn't. Yeah, the Disraeli doesn't because it's the well-supplied ship. But the Cascal is the fastest and
most well armed. Holy shit! Yeah, I'll send them in that. Yeah, the Gaskell. So that would be the fastest.
Selena, you're hoping to request the... Sorry, I don't understand your text.
I think they were requesting a certain shuttle. But I don't quite understand it myself.
Right, mute. I'm sitting here talking, going, okay, in my report, I would have been requesting the Disraeli because that's Federation protocol. But if with the Mill being the second choice, but if she sends me in the Cascal, that's her choice.
One,
Okay.
you're carrying a VIP. Two, I don't want to leave you completely defenseless. And three, I would rather have you there as quick as possible and back as quick as possible, rather than that. And that checks off all three of those criteria kind of things. So.
Okay, actually, that one's pretty darn fast. If you're going from there to there, it would be 3 days. And that's at warp 7. It's normal. It's cruising. It's a fast thing.
Luckily for you, we have a shuttle that goes about the cruising speed of our ship. So, well, I say that, but it'll be about 3 days from where we drop you off with Lieutenant Selena to your armada. In the fastest, well-armed support craft that we have.
This is satisfactory, I suppose. Very well. Anything you... If your crewman dies, do you do cremation or do you actually want the body? I am going to give you that courtesy at the very least. I mean, she's the one putting her life on the line, and I don't want to simply sacrifice her to the judicial pillars. That's rude.
Yeah, you know, I will have to have a talk with Lieutenant Selena, and I will let you know beforehand.
Very good. Anything you wish to plea of me then, before I get ready for this journey? I imagine it's not going to be immediate.
From some of the things I've read, just try your best to stay out of fights. And try not to indulge in any impulses while aboard the ship, and we should get along famously. And she just kind of, says it in an exaggerated, feminine way that I cannot reproduce.
Oh, don't worry. Your doctor is quite a compelling debater. I don't mind passing the time.
I want to empathically read him.
A distinct sense that he wants to kill you and everyone aboard ship, and amusement.
Well, I'm glad that the doctor amuses you, and As for your murderous intent, just keep it in check.
You're not dead, are you?
That would actually be a fun thing to see.
Oh,
Anyway,
you would not see it. I'm not dumb enough to attack a Starfleet when they can see me. They tend to get clever when you do that.
and at this point, just because I'm going to regret this immensely, she's going to kind of flirt with him and say, "Oh, you wouldn't hurt little old me," and basically is Orioning the shit out of him.
Give me a presence plus. Jeez, I don't know.
It's presence medicine. We had this debate once.
No, we didn't. Not for
Yes, we
Orion.
did. It was for someone.
Command. And I have persuasion as a focus.
Presence science it is. A presence command.
Okay. Present science works too.
Now, which one's your weak stat? Hold on.
Ha ha. Alright. And yeah. Persuasion as a focus or diplomacy.
This doesn't seem very diplomatic.
Seems
Seems very persuasive.
persuasive or seductive.
Well, I have persuasion as a focus. So, if it's command, I will give you a threat for threat dice. What's the difficulty?
It's opposed.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
I'm going to spend my determination for the value space is infinite discovery because I actually have no idea if this is going to work. This is an experiment to her. This may come in handy one day.
Oh, he has nanobots, doesn't he?
No, I don't think Alnamed do.
Oh, that's right.
So yeah, that's 2 successes already, and then I will roll. That was terrible.
You didn't. You didn't get him, but you sure as hell got Captain Grinnon.
Right? I have 3.
Shots fired.
Oh, it couldn't be better.
I have 3. Oh, son of a bitch!
I couldn't have made that joke if I had wanted to.
Oh man, that's fine. I failed, or my pheromones didn't work.
You failed hilariously.
No, I only missed by 2.
He smiles, and his smile gets wider, and empathically you get this distinct impression that you are attracting him, but you're attracting not any sense of lust or attraction. You're attracting, she looks weak enough that I could probably strangle her right where she's sitting.
Uh-oh.
She just kind of straightens up, realizing it's not going to work, and says, "That is all." Like, she just straight face. "That's all, Supreme Chancellor."
Is it? You seem to be inviting me to kill you. I mean, if you wish death, I can grant it to you. It wouldn't hurt. I promise.
No. I think your doctor friend may get angry with you if you went around killing her commanding officer.
She would. But I could apologize to her later if it doesn't bother you.
Maybe rain check. Rain check.
All right. Let me know.
And she just kind of winks and lets him go.
He gives you a little, like, gun shooting motion, like, yeah. Get you.
Oh, I'm gonna die.
Newfound respect for this NPC.
Oh, she notes down that Alnomed may be resistant to Orion pheromones.
I mean, maybe.
Or that one's just really into the doctor.
I don't know. You tracked them all right. Meanwhile, down at the ranch.
You have a ranch?
Yes, it's in the holodeck.
Yeah.
I believe 2 people were making love to a holodeck, and their names were displayed on screen.
Let's not bring all that weird shit into the holodeck. Let's leave that in the captain's quarters.
Well,
I
is that what the
mean-
holodeck's for?
Yeah, me
To
and
be
Garrick,
fair,
me and Garrick's aren't even really like we're tenuous as friends at this point. Let's leave that relationship there.
I mean,
To
if it
be
works out
fair,
that way,
she
it works
was
out that way,
using
but
it-
we're not there yet.
she was working on an experiment to see if it would be of any use if she ever came across any of them anytime soon.
Although I am surprised that after only like 6 or 7 hours of being away from Garrick's wife, he's already to make the move.
No,
He's
my
already
wi-
looking at Alan.
No, Fleur is still on the ship. She is still a nurse.
Oh, okay.
The kids aren't aboard, though.
Oh,
They abandoned them.
No, we left them with my other wife and her husbands.
I mean,
Yeah,
sure, that's what I would say if I
Alan
was
could never
confronted.
be attracted to someone who's so callous.
So, you 2 are in the holodeck, and you 2 were doing what again exactly?
We were trying to figure out a way to jam the Section 31 device that they use to inject commands into the Allens.
Right. So this will, in a way, you're setting your own difficulty. So when you're generating the interference, you have to first, you're setting what the difficulty they'd have to beat. So the higher the difficulty you beat, that's what they have to beat to cut through. So it could be difficulty 1 and you get it, but it's like a super simple interference. And if they get a 1, that's it. It gets broken through. But if you set it up to like say 5, they have to beat a 5. And you can theoretically bring it past 5, but complications run into it because then it becomes so complicated that you're having trouble keeping up with your own interference. And it might do things that you don't expect it to do in the field.
Okay, so what is the base roll to figure out how good I am at it?
Oh no, you know what the difficulty is. You know it's a you know the stats that go into it at least. It is your GM does too, and then no way that they lose their spot.
It's reason science, isn't it?
Control
Some-
engineering.
Those are none of the things I wanted.
Okay, well that's actually my best roll, so I should probably take the lead here.
And you can be
Um,
assisted by communications security of the ship because you're having the computer kind of help you create this very intense jamming algorithm.
Would a focus in energy field or modulation apply since we're creating like an energy pulse that would block whatever is?
I'll take it at an increased complication.
You know what? That works for me.
Alan, are you assisting?
Yeah. I was gonna
Okay.
see if we could make an argument for the system to be computers. Because right now we're in the design phase.
You know what? I'll give that to you without fighting you too much. I will say though, if you're assisting, your complication is 3. Garrick's is increased by 1 due to the opposed roll earlier. Because something's going weird with the computer. Oh, that's odd.
Okay, so the complication rating's 2 for both of us.
No, it's 3 for me.
Okay, and how many successes are we shooting for? Just to refresh me, if we want, let's say we want the difficulty to be 5 for them.
Then you need 5 on your end. Actually, to refresh you, Garrick's, if you're using that energy modulation, that brings you to 2. Because Alan's helping you, your complication gets bumped up to 3.
Okie doke, that doesn't sound bad at all.
So what's the ship? The ship is computers. What now?
Computers security.
Okay, first thing, I'm going to go ahead and challenge my value in a crisis. Only your intuition matters because this isn't intuition, this is methodical.
Didn't you use yours?
He said he's challenging the value.
Yeah, I'm challenging it to get more determination.
Which value are you challenging? Sorry.
In a crisis, only your intuition matters because this isn't me using my intuition. This is me methodically analyzing something.
I'll take that. Yep.
Okay, then I'm going to spend that determination to use my value. It's not tinkering; it's trying something new. Because we're using this is an untested system.
Do you have any either cautious or daring engineer?
I do have cautious, so I am going to use that 1 point of momentum we have.
And 1 point of threat, because you already used your determination.
Yep, 1 point of momentum, 1 point of threat. So I'm going to roll 3 dice. I already have 2 successes. Oh, booyah!
Do we want to stop right there?
You can. Well, actually, no, you can't because his complication got raised anyway.
Okay, so this is the ship. Oh God.
Nope.
And Alan. Oh, and can I use either computers or cybernetics as a focus?
I'll give you computers.
Wait, if we have floating momentum right now. If we have 2, you can use I can use my collaboration talent, and you can use my engineering score as well as my focus.
Well, I already have a focus, and the engineering is only 1 less, so I'm not really that worried about it.
Okay, that's fine.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
We got 8, and we have 2 possible rerolls. So do we want to reroll some of those to bring down our successes, or
why don't we quit while we're ahead?
No, we could re-roll some of the 2s to try to get 1s.
Why would we do that?
Because it's going to be more difficult for us to do any... never mind. I'm going to stop arguing. I don't know if it's in my favor, so... I know what I was arguing, but I don't know who it would help more.
So yeah, you do create the very... You're aiming for difficulty 5, so that's the one you hit. So you now have difficulty 5 algorithm that you can unleash on people.
Oh, because I thought because of what he did that we were looking at a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 difficulty because we got 11 successes.
You call out the number you're going for first, and that's the number you're rolling against.
Yeah, so really we just bet
that's why
6 momentum, so we're good.
Okay, so that's why I was advocating for rolling our re-rolls to try to get rid of some of those, so we didn't get the increased complication. But I see.
Yeah, no. It's if you were aiming for something past 5, I'd go, well, your complication range is going up.
I mean, it really wouldn't have mattered. We would have actually, even if you went to max, we wouldn't have gotten a complication because our lowest score was a 15. Yeah.
So yes, you have that created. And you guys actually blew past a bit. You have 4 floating? Am I correct?
6. There's no floating.
Oh, there's no floating? Oh, okay.
Yeah, we had none to start. I used the only one we had to start, and we have 11 total on a 5 difficulty. So
yeah, I thought my head math was wrong. I was like, wait a minute, that's not right. So yeah, you're able to generate it. The computers, when you guys work on it, the computers are being weird about it, but as far as you can tell, Garrix, it's just that the algorithm's that complicated, and the computer's kind of having a hard time keeping up, and you kind of lose track of what you're doing sometimes. You're like, and then you fix it, and then everything kind of fixes itself when you work with it more. It's like, oh, the software version of Gremlins. Sometimes you just keep working, and it just kind of goes away. I'm not sure why that happened, but it works now, so better not to mess with it.
I'm going to go ahead and use one of those momentum we generated for obtain information, if you'll allow that, to figure out if this is significantly different from what I've experienced with the computer that I should be suspicious.
You can spend that one, yeah. And your question was again? I want to make sure I'm answering it correctly.
My question is the software gremlins, as you described them, different enough that from what I've experienced with the ship, that this would be enough for me to at least run a diagnostic to make sure there's something wrong?
Your experience as an engineer tells you a quick level 5 or level 4 diagnostic, those take 30 seconds to a minute. They don't take or 5 minutes. So you can do a quick one when you're done, just to make sure there's no weird programming error in the computer core.
I will do that then.
It takes a little bit, as always, but yeah, diagnostics show fine. Core's fine. The only additionals to the software is updates from the from Master Computer from Starfleet Command, but that's that's been vetted by the Starfleet Corps of Engineers and stuff, so it's fine. It has all the signatures that's supposed to. So you have an authorized update of the OS, to put it that way.
All right. In the interest of not metagaming, I'll let that go.
But yeah, you guys figured that out. And
will there be a role to actually implement this, or do they only have to, like, are we going to flip a switch and then they have to roll to stop it?
You flip a switch. You can now replicate that device.
So this was not a physical device we had to attach to me. It was just a change to my software. Do we have to touch the Allens, attach something to them?
You can either put it into a device or you can put it into yourself, because what you've developed is the software to tell a device to create the signal that jams in a way that Allens and other devices will have a problem with.
I could make myself into the anti-Section 31 beacon.
Yes.
I will turn myself into the Section 31 beacon then.
I think we should make a physical device as a backup just in case, if you don't mind, Mr. Allen.
I mean, you can always just ask for me to give you the physical device. I got all kinds of storage compartments, and he starts opening up all various parts, exposing things.
That's a bit more intimate than I'm comfortable with being with you right now, Mr. Allen.
Should I fade to black now, or?
Yeah. Save us from this.
No, sometimes I forget you biologicals are very, very odd about your form.
No, it's quite all right. Speaking of which, Mr. Allen, after your duty shift ends, were you intending on doing anything?
I need time to look through all possibilities and see what paths lie ahead. That is a daily task to undertake.
Oh, well, if it wouldn't interrupt your task, without the children, Fleur and I have found that the evening meal is a bit lonelier than we're accustomed to. So even though I know you don't need to eat, I was wondering if you'd care to join us where we have our evening meal.
I would not mind, although something tells me she might.
You know what? I'll talk to her about it. Just meet us in our quarters at, let's say, 17:30.
I mean, with your assurance that the phasers will be kept at bay, I will be there.
Absolutely.
As a note, Zora is using a value. And you guys are gonna go chill elsewhere. But yes, that quick message I saw before I forgot. So yeah, when you blast an interference, sensors can, I'll take that 3 threat, can detect that they won't know exactly what you're doing, but they'll know that a signal is blasting out there and it's very complex.
So basically, once we activate it, they'll probably know something's going on. Got it.
Yeah, they'll know a device of some kind emitting a signal. They just won't, and they won't know what it is. Ooh, did you get it? I don't know if you did. I gave you the difficulty. Oh, I gave you the difficulty over here. What am I doing? What? Oh, wait. Yep, you got it. And you even gained 1 momentum by my count. Yep. Yeah, Zora, you have your plan B figured out. Next up is, I believe, Alan. Wash is flying the ship. I don't think you were doing anything.
No, just doing simulations. You know, like if we are here, how to fly away from this area quickly with what we know about them and their attack plans, etc. You know,
Okay.
yeah, those type of things.
Selena, Jolson, was Jolson helping you with stuff, or?
Yeah, I was on the bridge. I'll probably be running simulations as well.
And apparently talking to Selena.
Oh, someone jump over here.
Because
Real quick.
Selena was discussing, which, yeah, the captain came back on the bridge, so.
So you're not there right now.
Yes.
You might be doing something over here. Alan Washburn should be right there still.
Is this working?
Selena's probably over here. Garrix, that's an extended task. We'll leave for later. But yes, Selena,
Presence
you are.
command difficulty infinity.
Come on, wouldn't be that hard. She just spend her values and
We
use
share
threat
everything.
dice.
We share everything together, so she knows he's better.
Difficulty, yes.
Yeah, you're right.
Selena, you have the ear of Jolson since he's over at the science station.
So the captain is requesting we outfit a shuttle with
Whoops.
salvaged parts. I'm curious, did you figure out a way of how this aluminium is refined?
We have not really looked into that yet.
That's was unfortunately my my thoughts as well. I don't know how much time I have, but I would be interested in the effort to answer the captain as to whether we could outfit the shuttle. If you would mind working with me on that.
Absolutely.
I have no idea who that message is.
It's just out in the ether.
Oh, okay.
Although when you do get to the shuttle bay, you will find out that you have been okayed for the, the bigger shuttle. So you know what you're working with.
Pardon me.
When they get to the shuttle bay to start prepping to do the cold running stuff, they know that they're going to the bigger shuttle. Like flight ops in the shuttle bay will tell them that they're cleared to use it.
I hope that is days away, which is a good question. How far away are we from where we were going?
From Narendra to the Armada.
Hopefully weeks. Please say weeks.
Yeah, I was going to say, after the shuttle, it's going to take some time. I don't know if we're going to have that much time in this game, but...
Speed of plot.
Right.
If you left from here with the shuttle, it would take 11 days to get there.
Right. I'm assuming at some point there's going to be the fastest point possible to leave and get to the Armada.
Well, I think what we're going to do is, right before we go into cold running, is let you guys out so that you're already near the Armada and you're only a few days out instead of 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My one caveat to that is, I don't want to be in firing range of that station when we leave.
We're currently
Oh, we are?
Yeah. What Jolson said. Yeah.
We're already
That
in
thing
fire
can
range
shoot-
of the stations.
Yeah, the thing can shoot across the sector.
All right.
Yeah.
So basically, they know we're coming.
No, they just have a weapon big enough to hit us if they knew we were coming. I mean, they may
All right.
also know we're coming.
They can knock us out of the stars.
Once I get Commander Jolson aside to the shuttle, you do realize I'm totally against this. If we outfit the shuttle with cold running, and the El Nomad take it, they will have the cold running technology. But I didn't want to say that in front of the captain.
So we put it in a failsafe.
All right, fair enough. The
If
first
we're
question
concerned
is,
about that on Nomad taking our shuttle, we make sure they can't take our shuttle.
correct. And I do believe shuttles already have a select sequence, but it is. Yes, shit. So the first question we have is, do we have enough materials to replicate what we have for a cold running? And if we do, how to refine those materials to create the heat sinks? Mr. Allen created some, but... So, GM?
You can spend 2 momentum to have that created.
Oh, to have that created, the whole refining process?
Well, put it another way. You can take some of the materials from the existing heatsink material and put that into the shuttle, and then by the time you guys get to the jump point, the engineering crew could have refined some of the material into another heatsink.
Ah, okay. So we're skipping the whole discovering the refining process. Got it.
Do it.
Yeah, well, because Alan kind of has a refining process it's just a matter of it's the tedious work of just days and days of researching it, and Alan jumping in every so often to go, your warmer, colder. You got it,
It kind of makes sense that I'd have it because we have the element and we need to make a block out of it. And I had a block of the wrong shape that I would have had to melt down into another block of the correct shape. So, which is the same thing as if you had taken the element and you melted it down into the correct shape. So,
because the problem with this material is that it's not replicatable. It's something you have to mine. It's just, and you have the raw ore that you can just take it. For you guys to be faster, you can grab one of their heat sinks, salvage it, and then while the shuttle has its bit, the crew of the Victoria can start working on the Allen method to produce another block.
All right. So we're just sitting here shooting
momentum to do that,
which I believe was already spent, correct?
Yeah, go ahead and spend that. The 2.
So we're just sitting here talking about my reserves of wanting to weaponize a shuttle further.
Well, no, you would still be doing all of that. We're just kind of skipping past it.
All right, good to know.
You still have to like, retrofit it into the shuttle and all that, but it's kind of
you
like
at least have the
montage.
material. Yeah, you have a material that you can easily get over. Because you have like days before the Victoria gets to the drop-off point, so you have a lot of time to work at it.
So it's just me and Jolson working on this project now. Right?
Yeah, plus whatever random NPCs you pull on, whatever crew you guys pull every once in a while to get you something or lift this, carry that.
Okay.
Because you're the brains of this, not the muscle, right?
All right.
That's why you're officers.
So, I'm assuming there's an extended task to this. And Manton,
for installing the heatsink.
Yeah, installing the heatsink.
I will say.
You just want to make a roll, don't you? Just kidding.
I mean, it's not a bad idea because you can get momentum out of this theoretically.
That's fair.
We can't get to 40 threat without rolls.
And you know the irony? I haven't changed over my focus from small craft yet. I was still trying to figure out a good one.
I think I was. No, I think I'll leave Wash piloting the ship. So yeah, no. Selena will probably be piloting.
Yeah, actually, you're keeping Wash with the Vic, is my understanding.
Yep.
Especially with
Well, God help us if we're attacked. That's all I can say. So installing. I'm assuming there's a role or
there is. I'm calculating it because I didn't have this extended task in mind, so I have to do some quick reading up and figuring out what I'm going to do for that.
Captain, you are weaponizing everything.
The shuttle already had a weapon on it.
Yeah, I didn't weaponize anything. The ship was already equipped with quantum torpedoes and phasers.
Two things you always want to have on a diplomatic mission.
With a warlike people, abso-freaking-lutely.
I somehow have the feeling like it was like Odo working with Ducat. You remember that episode?
Well, see, okay, her whole reasoning behind it is, you know, you're carrying a diplomat, yes, but at the same time, you are going to be dispatched in hostile territory. I want you to be able to defend yourself. I don't expect you to use the weapons, but I expect you'll enjoy the fact that you have them.
That tracks.
Yeah.
All right.
And three Klingons jump out of nowhere.
It's the Jane method of thinking. Always bring grenades, because you never know when you might want them.
Yes. Fear.
Captain, am I cleared to have grenades on my diplomatic mission?
Not on the diplomatic mission. However, you are cleared to take a Type 2. And a ceremonial dagger of some kind.
And did I tell you how long it's going to take you to get to the station? I don't think I did.
Nope.
No, you just implied days.
Okay, so this determines how many checks you get to, how many times you get to before you run out of time. Right. So I got that figured out now. That figured out. Was there any other tasks people were up to while I'm doing this calculation? I think all the other tasks have been caught up on, including the super secret ones.
I haven't asked yet, but I could upgrade the transporters.
You have a free use of it for now because you came up with the idea and you can build it. It's just no one's
used. We just never used it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it makes the transporters more efficient in general, not just for that one thing. So I'll go ahead and install that.
Okay.
And to be fair,
well, I'll install that and a switch so that some random engineering person doesn't use my one shot.
While sitting at the chair, the captain is doing time math, more or less, just in case we do have to tap into the particular traits of the Victoria to basically least amount of disruption, while still obeying some form of temporal directive.
See, when I suggested we're breaking 10,000 laws and 10,000 different times, but when the captain suggested it's just math.
Well, because I actually suggested it as math. It's a theory.
How fast is the Victoria intending to go to get to the station?
One would assume that speed would be determined by the Admiral. As fast as he wants that station gone, I would assume.
He leaves that to your discretion because the Tenjin isn't trying to keep up with you. Its plan was to go in the middle point, the median between the Armada and the station, so he can watch what each one is doing and try to give updates to. And actually, given that you're splitting up, now he's sort of a center point, a forward operating base, if you will, that can monitor and quickly shoot messages. Relay messages back and forth if needed, or if in an emergency, rush to help.
Then the longer we take, the greater chance someone's going to get shot.
Best possible speed.
Did I give you a max speed for the Victoria?
9.2? It was up there.
9.2 is pitiful.
We're also in a Centaur, dude.
Yeah.
It's actually quite impressive for a Centaur.
It's impressive for a Centaur to go above warp 7.
Yeah.
9.5 for short periods and cruising of warp 7.
Okay.
So you can go between.
Yeah. That's a
so warp 8.
Somewhere.
So I guess warp 8 is something we can temporarily do for a longer period of time.
Yeah. I mean, you can get there almost instantaneously if you use time travel, because then time is relative.
Alan's ready. Are you?
I'll remind you, I installed the failsafe, so any temporal displacement of the ship requires command level authorization. Just reminding you.
Which, as the captain, I would have.
No one here is worried about command level authorization.
I was reminding the captain. I was reminding Alan because
But yeah, she's doing the quantum math essentially as an escape plan. It's not even as to get there faster. It's if we got to bug out.
Right.
Blink.
Actually, I'll have you give me an advantage roll real quick before I resolve this extended. Because you're basically trying to create an advantage. Wow. Sorry, I cleared my face right into the mic. Apologies.
Yep. It's fine.
There. Away from the mic. We're going to say that your calculations will require reason plus science using quantum mechanics.
Okay.
Difficulty 2.
This sounds right up my alley. Can I assist?
You're busy working on a shuttle.
Damn it.
While I'm doing this.
You can get the ship to assist you, I just realized, because you can use the computer to kind of help you with the math.
Yeah. I will give you 3 threat because I assume we're trying to get to 40, because why not?
Zora,
yeah.
you can't assist because you're on the bridge at the moment.
Yes.
How much threat did I just get?
3.
3?
And I can't re-roll any of that, but yeah. That's 3. 4.
And I'm going to spend 2 of that threat for an advantage that's going to happen down the road. Well, complication.
For yourself, yeah.
It's a complication when I get an advantage. And the ship's computer plus science. It looks like 2 momentum so far. 3 momentum.
Yeah. The captain will be like, see, Commander, if we input this equation, we may be able to skirt just enough out of the timeline to make an escape. We'd pop out in this sector here, about 5 minutes from when we left. Minimal harm done.
Seems appropriate.
I know you were highly against using our temporal abilities, but it's always good to have a backup plan, I think.
Yeah, going forward in time isn't the part that gets you in trouble, as long as you don't go too far forward.
Yeah, the way I figured it is she mapped it to where, or the equation gets her 2 or 3 light years away, about 5 minutes in the future.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're just making sure that's where and when you're going, and that nothing, according to the time sensor, is going to be there in 5 minutes without revealing to you what is happening, because you have to be careful learning future knowledge.
Yeah.
You say that.
Selena and Jolson. So we're going to get to you now that that advantage has been created. So the work is 7, magnitude is 4, resistance is 2. You basically have 7 rolls, basically 1 roll a day, where you're basically working at this. If you can spend 2 momentum on a successful roll to reduce the intervals we used in half. So instead of a full day for the roll, it will just take a half day.
I should take primary on this. I'm not worried about days. I mean, other than this, the only 2 things that I'm doing during a day is hand-to-hand practice, phaser practice, running through the Jeffries tubes, and this, apparently. That's my day.
Wouldn't Wash the pilot have the best chance?
This is installing an electroplasma system onto a shuttlecraft. I have small craft and electroplasma systems.
Yeah. Actually, I never figured out what the Admiral's going to give you, unless you guys already figured that out. Because you guys should have an extra focus, because the Admiral would have given you briefing notes.
No, I don't think we ever decided.
His focuses are, and you guys get to decide this because this is a advantage of having the Admiral within hailing distance of you. So these, you guys can choose as a group which one of these the Admiral is training you in, or basically giving you notes that helps you just for this mission.
I would think temporal mechanics would be the obvious one.
Yeah,
I
unless
think
somebody already has it.
I think 2 or 3 of us might already have temporal mechanics.
I have quantum mechanics, but
I have temporal.
I don't have temporal.
And like 3 of us have diplomacy.
yeah.
Does anyone have astrophysics?
Jolson, and only Jolson. I think.
I think temporal mechanics is probably the one that only. I know you have it, Alan, but I don't think anyone else has that one, and that's probably the most relevant for the most number of people.
Yeah, but I have a talent that helps me when I use that. So if we were going to do that, it would be best that I did it anyways. Because I can generate momentum from doing temporal mechanics.
I will say, if someone had temporal mechanics, they could just, whatever their department would be, they could assist them because of how the Victoria is set up.
I will just take temporal mechanics then, I guess. That's what everybody seems.
I mean, you can take anthropology. That sounds like it's going to come up.
None of this.
Well, I don't need survival, but I don't know if someone else needs survival.
Yeah.
I actually got rid of that, I believe. Anthropology would only help me out. It would not help the rest of the crew out, so I'm pretty sure that's an out.
We're going into, well, I was going to say astrophysics, but no, temporal mechanics does make sense, seeing as we're in a time ship, proto-time ship.
Yeah, the only other thing I would see an argument for is anthropology. That's more relevant to the Selena Jolson mission than everything else, but that's...
Does either of you have anthropology?
I do not. I have diplomacy.
Oh, well, then give them that. Because we already have at least one person who can do temporal mechanics, and one person who can do diplomacy, and one who can do astrophysics. We don't have anyone who can do anthropology.
Well, my other thought is temporal mechanics will help us with the sync seat drive should something go wrong in this mission, which is why I'm assuming the captain wants it installed into this shuttle, which I'm saying in character.
I'll point out real quick that the heatsink, you can put the heatsink into the Gaskell, but you can't give it the quality of the heat dissipation method. It was a task to get it to work on a ship as big as the Victoria. Getting it smaller is another engineering challenge entirely.
Yeah, so what's the point of installing a heatsink?
Because you can go cold running with it.
Oh, cold running. All right, gotcha.
Because in that way, with that smallest ship, the heat sink it burns away the heat sink, but the shuttle is now containing it in a way that's hard for sensors to detect. The problem is that
Gotcha.
you burn through heat sinks, or you endanger the people in engineering. With a heat sink on a shuttle, there's no one in there, so you're not burning anybody.
Gotcha.
Yeah. You don't get to do the timey-wimey stuff, but you get the rest of it.
All right, so none of this will help. Never mind.
Anthropology will help you, so take that.
I mean,
Or temporal mechanics. Make a choice.
No.
Captain, make a choice. Be a captain.
I would argue for temporal mechanics. That's just me.
Wash's 2 cents is I like the idea that since the temporal directive and everything says that we, for the most part, don't do time anyway, the only reason why we'd ever use it would to be escape. That would be the one, like, necessity time would be to escape from something, and we definitely want it to work.
All right.
I kind of like doing this is to shore up our weaknesses. So anthropology.
I leave it to you guys. I'm going to start rolling here.
So
I would vote for temporal mechanics as a whole, but I can see arguments for that or anthropology. But my vote would be for temporal mechanics if we want to just do this as a vote.
I count temporal mechanics as having the most votes, so temporal mechanics it is.
Okay.
Okay, so everyone has temporal mechanics for the rest of the mission. And that can't be changed. That requires another role. There's another type of character called an adjunct that can do that. Once the Admiral sends it, he can't really untrain you.
Okay, fair enough.
The role was... I'm scrolling up. Oh, I never figured that out. It would be control engineering. Stand by, please.
Is there any way I could argue for reason engineering? Kidding.
I think reason engineering would be if you were designing it, but I think you're actually installing it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's control engineering because you're in... Oh, hey, I've heard crazier ideas.
I almost take that as an insult.
I mean, if you want.
Better.
You
kind of
toaster.
should.
And apparently my mic... Oh, there it goes. It's working again. This is weird.
Yeah, I mean, if Girix is against me opening up a few ports, then I'm not about to start toasting things on.
I'm not against using anything in particular, as long as you're like sending us through time without talking to anyone about it.
I mean, I would, but you know.
So if I consult you first, I can do it?
I believe that's my call now.
Yep.
I mean, it was your call when I did it last time.
Not particularly. I had no idea.
Yeah, Jolson was in command at that point.
So what are we doing with this role on the Cascal?
It's control engineering, small craft or electroplasma systems.
Yep, I'll give you that.
Does that matter?
Oh, I didn't give you difficulty.
Yeah, that's what I've been waiting for.
I am going to spend some threat. I was going to put it at 2, but I'm going to up it to 3. There you go.
Okay, fair enough. And I'm going to spend a point of momentum on my roll to get to the 3rd dice. Jolson's assisting, correct? Or is he allowed to assist on this roll?
He can assist if he wants. If he doesn't want to, or he wants to sabotage you, that's his business. But I don't think his name's Alan. So.
Oh.
Hey.
So
What is this
reason
about?
science. Would this be warp field mechanics?
I'd give it to you at increased complication.
Nah, I'll just roll flat.
All right.
I would have taken it at increased complication, but okay.
No, I am bold. Okay, increased complication. 2,
Uh-oh.
2.
Here we go.
Mhm.
To 2. Oh dear. Oh dear.
You just roll 1 dice, Jolson.
And the ship can assist with this via...
Does this count as maintenance on the ship?
No, I wouldn't say so.
Okay. I got nothing that can re-roll that.
The ship can assist with structure engineering if you like.
Okay, I'll see if I can find the sheet.
Yeah. 0.
Oh, you already got it?
Yep.
There it is, and... Can use your determination to reroll if you have it. Because you have a complication sitting on the table. Nope, used it. Oh, okay. Very good. Do you wish to spend those momentum to eliminate the complication? Zora does not want you to spend that momentum.
Well, number one, I don't want to spend the momentum. And
Fair enough.
Unless Jolson wants to, I would say let's deal with the complication.
Let's just deal with the complication. I don't foresee any way of forcing this.
I think we made progress over.
You can't force me. What are you talking about, Zora? But yeah, do it to me all the time. Hey, that's on you. I'm greedy. No, I'm the nice GM. That's why I'm greedy. Anyway, you get to roll. I forget what you roll for extended task. It's something plus engineering.
2 plus engineering.
And resistance is increased by 2 because of the complication.
All right. That's 6.
You only rolled 1 die.
I know.
There's the 6. Okay. Oh, was that challenge that single die for the untapped potential thing?
True. Thank you for reminding me. Yes, it is.
Okay, 1 threat and 1 momentum.
Spend a momentum, reroll 3 of those dice.
You want to reroll 3?
Yeah, why not?
Let's reroll 3.
I should copy and paste this so I don't have to keep looking for it. There it is. I should put it on a notepad.
That's not too bad.
That gets us to 4, 5, 6.
You want to spend 1 on work so you can get a breakthrough. I guess you don't have to, but if you do,
Would that give us 2 breakthroughs? Because we got 5.
No, because it's resistance 2. Oh, he increased the resistance to 4, so
because of the complication earlier.
Yeah, you're not gonna get it. You're gonna do 2 work. Unless you spend some on piercing. You could buy down with the 2 momentum, you could buy down the to get 1 breakthrough. If you spent both momentum on piercing, you could get a breakthrough.
Lieutenant Jolson, this does not appear to be the shuttle's design is so weird.
Well, we are basically re-engineering the coolant system.
Agreed.
So, okay.
All right. So how much work has been? Oh, you guys spent the momentum.
Yeah. So they're down to 1 work.
1 work left.
Okay. And the difficulty has been reduced by 1 because you got a breakthrough.
So same check.
Same check. Yep. So the next day.
I guess I have to give you a threat.
I mean, you should just do that all the time.
Well, it's
I know,
magnitude
right?
3 now.
It's magnitude 3.
Oh, right.
Do you want me to just blow all 6 and take a shot for momentum? Yeah, let's do that. I'm gonna die anyway, so and
Go big
add
or
an
go
extra
home?
5 to that. Yeah,
Why
let's just
not
go
take-
big or go home.
Leroy?
We have no momentum.
Leroy, there is no chicken at the end of this.
I mean, there's one back at Starbase. Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. That was mean.
We don't speak of
Ouch.
that.
For some reason,
What's
the
that
doctor on another ship's going to kill me. I'm just sensing a pattern.
Why is
This
there?
is true.
Oh, there's
Shuttlecraft is sensors what? Or engines? Engines
Structure
engineering?
engineering.
Structure engineering.
And Jolson can assist if he wishes. He doesn't have to. I'm not his boss, just the GM.
Yeah, you're not the boss, you're just God. I will assist. Does testing a theory come into play?
Yes.
Alright, so I get 1 extra dice. And this is control engineering, so...
No. Oh, because it's an assist.
Ah.
Right. Yep. Zora's right.
Mm-hmm. Well, this isn't an extended task, though.
Yeah, but he's not the main, though.
I am
Oh.
not the main.
I have the same talent, and the minute Zora pointed that, I was like, oh yeah, right. That's not how that works.
Control engineering.
Gee, we should have done extended task for the refining process.
So I can't use bold science on this since this isn't a science roll.
True.
Right. Looks like I'm just going in naked.
Cool.
It was worth a shot.
At least it wasn't a complication.
This is true.
you get
I did
6
not
challenge
totally-
dice.
I get 6 challenge dice. What was it for piercing?
Well, roll your dice first. I
Because you
mean,
get to see, you can spend after the fact.
Yeah, and you don't have to.
Yeah.
Because even with the resistance, you still beat the work track.
Two days of work spent, and you're able to retrofit the Gaskell with a heatsink system.
Cool.
And you've learned how annoying Gaskells are to modify or anything to, because these things are... And you get the feeling that if you try to do anything about trying to fix this thing while not aboard ship, yeah, the difficulties can be pretty is 1 higher because of how finicky these things are.
Remind me to pack an EVA suit just in case there's trouble.
I think you did.
Hey, Selena.
Yeah. Yes.
Pack an EVA suit.
Duly noted, sir. My kids do that to me all the time.
So, we're going to scene change here.
I'm only 30 going on 150.
It'd be alright. This is where all the bad ships start coming out.
So you guys are warping out that way. Tension's going this way. You guys
And
gonna be stopping
Yeah,
there.
we're close to that. Isn't that gray world where
Yep.
the original?
Yep.
If this goes south, that's where we're headed to.
I want Q to show up. Don't worry, that's for later.
50 threat. Q shows up in versus ship.
Oh god, way too big.
Now, Q just seems mostly to be rather annoying. We've learned this recently.
Well, you learned it. Mine's amazing. Charming even.
I mean, she wasn't all that bad.
Suck up.
He's afraid she'll come back.
It's not my fault that the doctor had a civil conversation with her.
All right. So, who is going on the shuttle Gaskell to the diplomatic mission?
Can I put what I request?
Yes, by all means.
I'll leave that in the capable hands of our captain.
So you. Oh, I have the list here.
Because the second away team is totally under the commander's purview, but Selena's I will.
Wait. If Selena's making decisions for half the crew, and Commander Zor is making decisions for other half the crew, what do we need you for?
No, I am making the decisions for Selena's away team. Commander
I
is
can only request.
making her
Captain
own.
has to approve.
Sounds
Yeah.
like mutiny time to me.
Captain, you
I know,
have
right?
a request from Selena for the doctor to help to go along since the Supreme Counselor is going along, and she seems to keep him not murderer. 2 security officers and a pilot.
Unfortunately, I cannot spare Wash, so. Alright. I will assign Reza to pilot. I will calm down to the doctor and ask her to pack a bag. Because she's going on a trip.
On a spaceship.
Might I also suggest myself? I do have a focus in communication and the Cochrane Award in that.
Boasting does not become you, Lieutenant Commander, but very well.
I'm just offering my resources. You know, since this is a new ship to you, you don't know everyone. Might be some things that slip underneath your radar.
I assure you, the achievements of the officers under my command are not one of them. However, you are correct, Jolson. I can deal with any science issues we may have in your absence. Yes. And she will request the doctor and Stefan, and send 2 security officers with them.
Any special equipment being sent along? Weaponry?
Sorry, I didn't want to sneeze in everybody's ear.
I'd do it.
Type 2s, med kit for the doctor. EVA suits. I don't think I'm going to allow body armor. For the simple fact of, don't want to come off too hostile.
My understanding is body armor is pretty allowed. This is a negotiation that a disruptor could be pulled at any moment, Captain. I would rather have the body armor than the Type 2.
Very well. See that the doctor is outfitted with the same. And make sure she brings a fully stocked med kit. Actually, I guess I should do that. Captain Nadal to Dr. McNeil.
Dr. McNeil here.
I'm afraid I'm going to need you to escort your golden friend home. Would you be okay with that?
Is this an order, Captain?
I'm afraid it is. I just, objections will be noted in the logs, of course.
Very well.
Alright. Also see that you bring a fully stocked med kit and pick up some body armor on your way to the shuttle bay. Can't be too careful.
Understood.
Correction on that one threat, not two.
That's fine.
All right. Sure, let's kill me even faster. For threat. Why not? No.
You're the one that requested the body armor, damn it.
Yes, I know. I have no problem with the one threat or two threat.
So how many people are being outfitted?
I guess it would be Selena, Jolson, the doctor, and
The two security guys?
well, yeah, and Risa. So, yeah.
So 6?
Yep, we've reached 40, ladies and gentlemen. 41, actually. We're all gonna die now.
You're welcome.
So much typing. I'm not going to charge them with momentum. Time isn't against them, but I was going to charge them the escalation, for sure. Because you guys have had time. You've had travel time from the station to from Narendra all the way out to the hidden base, so you have time to think about what are we bringing. Let's replicate it or bring it out of storage. But
So
personal armor is I'm ready for a fight, so it tends to heighten the tensions a bit.
So we're almost at 3 Borg cubes. Got it.
Can a ward allow you to basically gain determination stuff twice? I believe.
Anything else being brought along?
No.
Oh, sorry. I almost assumed. Away team, are you ready to go?
Selena. Jolson.
Oops, mute. I am.
The Cochrane is something from the command book.
Okay.
I forget what it does at the moment. But yeah, you guys launch.
Oh boy.
Well, I'm lost of what's moving around on the map. Me and Jolson have a lot to talk about on the way out. I think for the doctor and Stefan, it would get pretty annoying.
You do come across the path of the Tenjin, who presence and alerts you that the Armada is making very active war maneuvers. They're not like war. Sorry, not war maneuvers. That's not the word.
Flight maneuvers.
Yeah, flight maneuvers.
Combat maneuvers, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Okay. Duly noted. Oh wait, I'm not the commanding officer. I'm just a diplomat. That would be Dr. McNeil.
Or Jolson. I think they're both lieutenant commanders.
So, Commander Jolson, did you read the fascinating study on spatial mechanics with quantum field regulations of subspace. I'm bullshitting science words now. Subspace compression.
Sorry, what was that again?
A lot of. Just go ahead.
A lot of long sciencey words saying, "Have you read the study? We've got a couple of days. Let's just have some science fun."
So,
yeah,
so
it's
we're
just
gonna nerd
science
out.
talk. Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to nerd out with the doctor and Stefan in the back.
Sorry, I got roommate aggro.
Okay, no problem.
Hmm.
We're waiting on the GM anyhow.
And as the Cascal approaches the fleet, you have, and you kind of, quite a few actually, because these things are not as expensive as a cube. Spending, actually, there's a fast way to do this. Spending 6 threat.
I'm gonna go in the back where the doctor and Stefan are. Knock on the door first to make sure they're decent.
You have my permission to enter. I won't kill you.
The door's open and we have arrived at the fleet. I assume there is a protocol to be followed here.
Well, there would be a, and then the shuttle shakes as there's shots fired on it.
Uh-oh.
There would be somebody hail Lieutenant Commander Jolson. Dr. McNeil. I'm gonna rush forward to get into the engineering station.
Where's the tokens? As you are being approached by 3 fighters, and they are firing on the Cascal.
Oh, this is my show. Okay. Opening hailing frequencies.
Yes,
This is the
right
US Cascal to Nomad fighters. Requesting confirmation we have Supreme Chancellor Stefan on board. Sending appropriate documents.
Roll for me. Control plus engineering. Difficulty 5. Someone's jamming you.
All right. You know what? I'm going to spend one of those lovely milestones that we were so fond of, taking that down to 2, and use that to buy a determination to use against. Now, the only thing I can think of is always keep your ears open for profit.
Or you're challenging one of them to get rid of it?
No, I'm
He's
spending
using a
momentum.
milestone.
Milestone. Yeah.
Right. And you're spending to keep my ears open for
Profit.
I'm gonna need a different value.
Different value. This crew in this ship is incapable of working correctly.
I'm trying to sell myself on that. I'm not seeing a
What's
big
wrong
reason to
with
say
people on the
no.
loud? What's wrong with people on the loud emotions? Fear is a very powerful emotion.
Oh, actually, I just heard. I'm gonna read that one. I think that's gonna apply.
It's a little too late for sometimes there's reason to hide things.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll give you that value. You're kind of breaking the traditional Vulcan calm, or the species trait, and you're letting yourself get a little worked up so you can work harder.
All right, and let's toss away.
I would say spend all 5 momentum to get the 4 dice to roll.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah. Because I can most likely get some of it back on here. Difficulty 5 dice.
Well, 4 dice.
I don't suppose diplomacy or small craft applies.
No, you're trying to break through jamming. Small craft does though, actually.
Okay. Works for me. We're being jammed.
Oh, damn.
You could challenge a value and re-roll.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to have to do. Uh-huh. Let's challenge sometimes there's reason to hide things, because I've already blown our number 1 advantage.
I'll give you that. That one's gone. You're going to have to replace it.
I'm well familiar with the dark art of challenging values. I think Alan is somewhere around 9 or 10 total values.
I need to remind myself that I've done that.
I'm not far behind you.
All right, re-rolling those 3 failures.
Don't forget, you do have the ship helping you.
Oh, right. Before I do that, I'm still re-rolling those 3 zeros.
Well, yeah.
For the record.
He just needs to increase the number of dice you
use. Is communications engineering or communications security?
Communications engineering.
Okay.
The more you roll, the more possible complications.
Shh. Stop giving away my secret.
Null system?
It does that. Don't worry about it.
I would also like to help once I get a moment.
Oh shit.
Go for it.
If you assist with this, you won't be able to do an action in the combat if this doesn't go right.
Okay. Never mind. Selena, it's all you. Good luck.
For that.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So you actually got 3 momentum there. Now you're able to break through. Now I'm gonna have you
2, 3, 4, 5, and 5 is 10.
6, 7. Oh yeah, 9, 10. You're right, because you spent your value, right?
Yep.
So there's actually 2 more in there. So you're able to break through, and you're actually able to talk to somebody. Now you're gonna have to do a presence con roll as you're informing them on the laws of it. The difficulty has been reduced because you're well versed in the law, so you're not having to search for words. You're actually able to recite regulations. The difficulty would have been 5, but it's now down to 4 because you already know the law.
All right. Diplomacy?
Yes, now that you're talking, now that you actually know someone can hear you.
All right, take 3 threat.
Oh, thank you. I was below 30 and everything. I was feeling bad.
I don't suppose the ship assists on that one.
Not really.
Oh, I forgot.
One momentum gained, by the way, by Selena from the first roll, and the second roll doesn't go off, sadly. So yeah, you try talking to them. The other side responds with shooting at you. Thankfully, only one of them get to shoot, because I don't get to have them all shoot at you at the same time, because that's just not fair.
Right.
Like, the game doesn't let me do that. I
Take
mean, I could cheat, but I shouldn't.
Take the brave Sir Robin approach.
I was going to ask, what about if we had... could Stefan assist with that?
Stefan has no interest in talking his way out of a fight.
All right. Welcome to Cowboy Diplomacy, everybody.
And I'm going to
In
spend
communications.
some threat to have them be in good range. And I need to get 2 hits to hit you. If my math is correct. Yes. Pew. And they hit. Heck, they even get a threat out of it. That threat's just going to go into piercing, because why not?
Y'all are
We're
gonna
dead.
die.
Yeah.
We dead, son.
You could have assumed that before they started shooting, but it's downright true now.
McNeil, correct me here. I know the starship sheets have been messed with. Do you just leave it at 0 still, or has that changed? Just leave it at 0? Okay. Pew.
Wow.
And because they're Al-Nomed of the Armada, they get to reroll those challenge dice. I have to spend threat to do that, though, so I should spend that. Mm. 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5.
Commander Jolson, I don't think this was...
I forget what versatile.
Scientifically well.
I forget what versatile gives you off the top of my head.
2 momentum to spend on a range of thing.
Piercing, extra damage, devastation.
Devastation. They seem mean like that.
Well, I mean, if you really wanted to be mean, you just spend it on piercing, and it's 5 damage raw straight to the ship.
He already bought piercing, so he's bypassed all of their resistance.
Oh, that's right. Which one are we on? The Gesco?
Yep.
It's what, size 1 or size 2?
2.
Yeah, then you're already through it.
Yep. We already have 1 breach.
Yeah, you need to roll the table. See what system it hits.
Yep. Oh wait, I have a friggin' thing. I have a macro someone gave me. I'll use that. That's faster.
Yeah, me.
I mean, I was gonna give you credit. Honest, it's not like I forgot or anything.
Right.
Ooh.
That's fun.
Yeah, it's time to run. Or hope the Prometheus is coming very quickly.
They fire on you, and your light up as your weapons show heavy damage from the shot. It goes back to you guys. Jolson's the other active player character.
Whoa, so much for our diplomacy.
Although you can activate crew support of the Victoria to activate one of the other people aboard, if you think that'll help.
The pilot and get the frack out of there.
Yeah, because you're not going to survive. You don't have weapons anymore.
It's just a minor action to reactivate it. I think it's impacted.
I thought with the ship scale that was different, because the ship is so small.
Let me pull it up.
Yeah, I think he's right. but I'll check as well.
Because I think it should only have 2 slots. It should only be able to take 2 hits to each system. You're already over half.
Oh, they're disabled. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh no, they're damaged. Sorry, it's just 1. So yeah, they're damaged. We can still fire them, but it's a +2 difficulty to hit anything.
There's 3 of them. And it took the Victoria like 2 hits to kill 1.
Again, I will point out to Stefan, these are his people.
He wants to fight them.
Okay. Can I jam their targeting systems? Like, jam the targeting systems in long enough that we can get away and buy time to talk some more?
You can order the pilot to try to escape right now.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
Take that
question:
as a
if they
hint.
die out in space, does that count against me?
They are under your command.
No.
We knew it was a
Does
dangerous
not.
mission, but we're good.
Leave.
But you can try to jam them. Yes, you can create an advantage where it's harder for them. Basically, increases the difficulty by 1.
Yeah, I suppose we definitely need to do that.
Okay, that will be control plus. I'll say control science. Difficulty 2.
Okay. I'll give you a threat by an extra dice.
Sure.
Focus and communication.
I'm going. Oh yeah, I'll give that to you. You're right.
All right. I'm tapping my value. Sometimes you have to field test it before you know it works.
Increasing difficulty. Sorry, not difficulty. Increasing complication by 1.
Okay. So, I get 2 determination from that with my Cochrane.
Oh, you have it attached to communications?
Yes.
You sucker. Okay.
Right, because you got it for us learning how to disable Alan's thingy.
Yep.
So
under that Aegis, if you succeed at this, and basically the second part of it, you can spend toward this offering I give you. If this succeeds, they basically get jammed up so bad that they can't see you for a little bit. But that's only if you succeed, especially since I just increased the difficulty by 1.
Okay. So I already have 4 successes, so I just roll one more die.
You have 4
No,
successes?
you roll 2.
I roll 2.
Yeah, you roll your normal dice.
Okay.
So that's 6.
Yep. So for a short time. There we go.
I just activated a flashbang.
Yeah, you basically just admitted you found a feature of the Gaskell that lets you, that most people don't know about, but it's a prototype type function of it that basically makes a massive flash of sensor interference. You won't be able to do it again, and you're probably gonna have to replace that part you just fried. But hey, no one can see you. You can't see anything either, but whatever. They can't see you. They waste a turn trying to find you.
All right. Ensign, evasive maneuvers.
You know, you can just say
running system.
You
Out.
don't, yeah, you don't want to say evasive maneuvers. You want to leave.
Get us out of here. Maximum warp.
Yeah.
This is the correct path.
So spending all 6 power to warp away.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Generally the Star X-Men.
5.
I don't think you
Leave
can
yourself a
spend
power.
more power.
Because bad things happen when you're at 0 power. I was seeing if you would spend all 6.
Yeah, but they can catch you.
Yeah.
So spending 5 power?
Yep.
Okay. Where are you warping to?
The Tenjin.
I was gonna say
Yeah, let's get to attention.
we're gonna need some repairs more than anything.
Not to mention backup.
As you're warping away, you all of a sudden you can hear a crackling hail signal.
Put it on speaker.
This is the tension. Turn around. Enemy fighters inbound.
This is the Gaskell. Oh, we're also have enemy fighters inbound on our 6.
Reroute to these coordinates. We'll meet you there.
All right.
Roger.
Tension to Victoria.
This is the Victoria.
At this time, we have 6 fighters inbound on our location. We just grabbed the Caskel. They got ambushed approaching the Armada. There are 2 ways I can do this. I'm seeking your input, Victoria. So either I try to force my way into the Armada to get this diplomatic envoy in, or I withdraw back to safe space. I don't think withdrawing to you is going to help, because I'll just draw them to you, and that's what we're trying to avoid.
No, Admiral, there's no need for you to put yourself in any harm. Just see that, if you could, just see that the crew of the shuttle is, whether or not they're injured, and by all means retreat to safe space. We'll keep going on as planned.
Commander, thoughts? You know the file better than I do.
By all means, Commander, please.
The Nomad will consider it a sign of weakness.
Oh, damn it. Oh.
The Tenjin has gotten a good few little, a few goodies since you've been gone, Admiral. She should be more than a match.
All right. Be advised, if we go into the Armada, we cannot help you if something goes wrong with the station.
Understood.
Tension out. Good hunting.
You as well, sir.
That was quick. He just
It's a
obliterated.
Prometheus, bro.
This is what I've been telling Prax, but she didn't listen.
And the Admiral accrued you 2 threat for his direct methods, since certain officers aboard his ship aren't the diplomatic ones. We could talk to them, or we could just blow them up. I'm just saying.
Yeah. These are the people I deal with on a regular basis.
Are we ready for some Section 31 killing?
Now on to our own slaughter mission.
As long as we've done 15
Ooh.
minutes or so, we're good.
What's that in the middle?
It's
After
Odo.
some violent shoving by the Tenjin, the diplomatic corps is able to get to the meeting. In this grand hall, its walls tainted the color of red. You see 4 guards in full armor, disruptor rifles in hand, swords on their backs. And in the middle is a
Right.
massive hologram head floating there.
And I
The
would
room
assume
feels-
behind me.
Say again?
Zordon, is
Behind
that
me.
you?
You beat me to it.
Is Eltar part of the Al-Nomad collective?
I mean, maybe.
I'm waiting for the little disc-headed robot to come out. Ay, 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 ay. No? Okay.
Rangers.
Rangers. I need you to... Okay, we're done. We're done picking on the big floating head.
Are
See who
you
it is?
though? Are you?
Not particularly, no.
Hurt my
If the
feelings.
lollipop guild shows up, I'm out.
If the what?
If the
Lollipop.
lollipop
Guild
guild shows up,
Oh. Fair
I
enough.
am the all-in-powerful Wizard of Oz.
You who stand before the Supreme Court, identify yourselves or be destroyed.
Selena?
I am Selena of Ferenginar of the Federation Diplomatic Corps. I bring Supreme Chancellor Stefan, who has appropriated this meeting so that the Federation and the Nomad may come to peaceful trade negotiations.
I wouldn't go so far as to say peaceful, but to the benefit of us all, rather than wasting our time. They'll just
Exactly.
give us what we want rather than us take it. They're kind of weak like that. And
I'm
who
gonna
else
let
is
that
with you?
slight go. I don't say that aloud, but yeah, we have found in the past that peaceful trade negotiations are beneficial to both societies. We have been at war with others in the past, Klingons, for instance, and it is a very costly matter of lives and equipment, not necessarily in the best for either society.
Why should we not just kill you now and take what we want?
Oh, if you kill me now, it would be very hard to take what you want. You can only take from my body. The Federation is a large conglomeration of planets, most of which have sufficient defensive systems. And you attempted to take what you wanted previously from our shuttlecraft. It did not end so well.
Jolson, give me insight security, difficulty 2.
oh boy.
I was going to say, can I do an insight check to see if anyone's moving towards me?
No one's moving towards you. You're perfectly fine. You sense no ill will aimed in your direction.
Well, this goes well. Can I use my join Trill talent? Using my experience as what's her goof? As Leora as a diplomat.
If you give me 1 momentum, I'll give you a suggestion.
Okay.
1 momentum spend. This isn't a matter of diplomacy. You get the feeling that this is a matter of security. You're in danger, but you're not entirely sure from what.
Can I use the same talent and use Calden instead? Security from him being a pirate?
He would know.
Sure. Whoop.
Focus paranoia. There you go.
Focus paranoia. Cool. So I temporarily have the focused paranoia.
And it still fails you.
That's a lot of damage.
That's gonna be an ouch.
Oh
Spending the
dear.
necessary momentum to get rid of those complications.
Yep.
Too bad there's not a captain present to give someone a determination.
I used mine already.
You have veteran, don't you?
Nope.
Who doesn't take veteran as a captain?
Me? Gonna start
Somebody
something?
who wanted to use that talent for something else?
The infinite momentum machine.
So
How well has that worked out for you in the past?
Jolson, unfortunately, you are woefully ignorant of how much danger you're in right now. McNeil, you can tell that one of the armed security guards has every intention of shooting Jolson. Like, it isn't the general malice of, yeah, I feel like killing anything that breathes. This is no, this guy in particular is gonna die.
Oh boy.
So you can try to do something to save Jolson, because empathically, you can sense he's blissfully unaware. He's paying attention to Selena and the big giant head having a chat.
She's gonna pull out her Type 2 and fire.
Oh, okay.
I was hoping you'd do that.
Control security difficulty
Me
too.
too.
This is the Allen approach.
And everybody gave Jal shit about this.
Oh, McNeil, are you shooting at kill or just stun?
Stun.
Oh, you don't get help from the Stefan then.
You want to change that answer?
I'd change that answer.
Let's change that answer.
Take a threat.
I'll take a
Goes
threat.
against the character, but just take a threat. Determination spent. Hesitation is bad as inaction.
I mean, yeah, that applies for some reason.
Really, the only reason.
He did.
Pew. Oh, you hit him. Roll your damage. Oh wait, you increased. Oh, hold on. You increased. You gave me 1 threat because you turned it to kill. I thought you were buying yourself an extra die.
Nope.
Nope.
No, it's my determination.
No, you spent a threat too, I swear.
Yeah, to
No, I
make it
didn't.
lethal. I
Oh,
thought you said
Gave him a threat to make it. Gave him a threat to make it lethal. You have to do that.
yeah.
oh, so you did. You are making it lethal.
Yes.
You get an extra d20 because somebody really wants you to succeed. You get this empathic sense of where exactly you can shoot to kill him. It's almost like he's supposed to be commanding people who kill other people. So yeah, I'll roll your damage.
Charge, minor action charge, vicious.
I mean, yeah, that makes sense.
Yes, let the empathic
Oh,
blood
God.
flow through you.
Oh man,
Holy shit.
you vaporized him.
Spinning one momentum for a piercing just in case.
You get this. You're shooting at him, and you're sort of like aim for center mass. Don't get fancy with it. You get a feeling in the back of your head that if you aim just a little bit higher, you're going to catch it right in the joint of his armor between his chest plate and his neck, and that's kind of a weak point because the guy's lifting his head up too high. So you catch him, it pierces through the armor, and the inside of the thing, the armor just kind of falls, and like the guy inside vaporizes, the armor stays, and he just kind of falls down. Like the remains kind of flop to the ground.
Gross.
Hey, the bow is impressed.
Good shot, says Stefan.
I take it there will be no more of those. I look at Mr. Head.
Oh, if only they wish to die, but that's on them. I can't control their urges, but I think they learned your mind reader over there is a little more sensitive to such things. Found yourself a new lieutenant, Stefan? Oh, if she wants to change careers, I wouldn't say no, but that's up to her, really. You're not kidnapping her? Did you see what happened? I don't think that would go very well for me. I mean, I wouldn't mind it too much, but he shrugs. Selena Frankenar, you were saying you're allowed to make a presence command roll or presence con roll. You get a bonus D20 because somebody just showed that you guys are willing to kill if necessary. With a very visible
bonus D20. So it would take 2 to get to 4 dice. All right.
Yep.
So here we go.
And they're going to roll to oppose because they want to just conquer everything.
Isn't your command a little bit higher?
He said presence con. My command is much higher. Oh, can I rank combat then? I only heard con.
Whoops. Yeah, it's command or con. I didn't mean to do that. Whoops. Whoops. Oh, well, he left because he's a coward. Whatever.
That's much better.
Oh, dear. Well, I'm glad I spent my dice then to get more dice. My threat. Where'd you go, my little sheet? So I got this much. And bang. Ooh. Only just. So you go through you go through your song and dance. You tell them about the great benefits of trade, and they don't have to kill you to get what they want. You find out very quickly that peace is kind of a dirty word. It's not. They don't really respond to it very well. But
I didn't say. So I never use peace. I use trade.
Trade.
Rangy trick.
World of Acquisition, peace is good for business.
I mean, in this case, I think war is good for business is more appropriate.
More appropriate.
What is the Federation willing to exchange then? Are they willing to exchange weapons, goods, people?
Whatever our merchants are willing to exchange with your merchants is upon them. I would say maybe all of the above, with the exception of slaves. It's a little frowned upon. I mean, I know some people who know some people in that regard, but
Stefan laughs when you start talking like that.
I'm not lying.
We can agree on a trade basis. This is a benefit to the Armada. Is there anything else you wish to beg of this court?
Not so much beg, but the Federation has a criminal problem, and they are building a weapons platform at the edge of your space. This is in direct violation of our laws. We were curious if you would want to coordinate an preemptive attack on these criminals.
Presence command difficulty 4. I'll say 3 because you did kill somebody in front of them, and that amused them.
Okay.
I would suggest 2, but only because
Presence
she's
command.
also.
You know what? I'm
offering
burning that
violence.
last. I'm burning that second to last milestone.
I was trying to help because you are
Very good.
inciting violence, which they enjoy.
Yes. And I'm going to spin that towards. I'm hoping I can use I'm allowed emotions again.
Yeah, they seem to like someone who they don't like someone who's cold. That's not very Al Nomad. They
Yeah.
appreciate emotions, especially the violent ones, for some reason.
So I'll try to ramp it up. These are people who have violated some of our most sacred laws. They deserve to be brought to justice. They are a threat to you. They are a threat to us. Cooperation is in line here. Diplomacy, presence command. Let's go 2 threat for extra dice.
Sure. Oh dear.
All right. I got this. Let's burn them allowed emotions. And always keep your ears open for profit. Or the other way around.
You'll
She's trying
probably
to profit from getting help.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're talking about trade here.
You help me, you get goods.
Actually, you help us. You don't have this threat on your borders.
I would actually say the other way around, only because you invoked the emotions part as part of your argument.
All right. Fair enough. The things I
Leon,
do
the
for
nice
this
one, I
fucking
don't do
crew. There's 4.
Yep. I'll take that threat, sure.
Yep.
And with that, as you're discussing the finer points of how exactly he can help you with the Section 31, the scene shall end as we fade away with the laughing of how exactly to destroy your mutual enemies and crush them beneath the might of the Armada. They especially like the idea of getting control of the cannon. They really like that.
The things I go through for you people.
But yeah, that'll be it for now. We'll pick up on the Section 31 attack next episode. Although I will say that you will be Selena and Jolson, your characters will be tied up with the Armada, so you'll have to play supporting characters on the Victoria if you want to help out there. Just 'cause-
Yeah, sorry about that, guys.
No, that's kind of just how the dice rolls.
We have several useful people, so you'd be happy.
And hey, you had the people you needed to not die from that, because that got close.